SBC Sports presents CFA Football. From out of the Southwest Conference, the Mustangs of SMU and the Big 8 Conference champions, Oklahoma Sooners.
CFA College Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is brought to you by Nissan, builders of technologically advanced cars and trucks for over 50 years. By Goodyear, makers of the great performing all-season Vector. By Hayes Microcomputer Products, a leader in computer communications. Say yes to the future with Hayes. And by the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be.
It's amazing how the weather has changed around here over the last 3 days. But for 7 members of the Oklahoma football team, this is the home finale. Their record at home during their playing time here gives you an idea of how much fun they've had. And this defense this year, first, second, and second. You can read the numbers. But the ringleader of this defensive unit is a young man named Tony Casillas, All-American middle guard, and earlier this week was named the winner of the Lombardi Award. And Tony gets a little wistful about his last run through the tunnel today.
Well, I think what's going to go through my mind is the fact that it's my last game, and I'm a senior and I've been here for 5 years, and I always say, God, I can't wait till I get out of college. I mean, it's been so long, but when I come out of that ramp, I'm gonna look up at the stadium and all the fans and, you know, all the support that they've given me and the whole team since I've been here, and just I'm sure I'll get a tear in my eye because it's been a part of my life these last 4 years, and it's, you know, it probably really won't sink in till after the game, but, you know, I'll know that it'll be the last time that I run out down that ramp onto Owen Field.
And now here comes the opposition into Owen Field. Gorgeous, warm day, the temperature right around 60 degrees. The SMU Mustangs, campus located Highland Park in the city of Dallas. These teams have not played very many times over the years. This will be the 6th meeting today. The last time they played was here in Norman. Oklahoma won it 30-0. But they come into this ball game, their finale, because they're not going anywhere, with a record of 6-4, and that's certainly far from what was expected at the start of the season. The coach, Bobby Collins, 4th year, 37-8-1, and he says he is not going to his alma mater, Mississippi State. And here come the Sooners. They're 9-1, ranked 2nd in the coaches' poll. Must be very careful today if they are to have their chance at a national championship. Coach Barry Switzer has the highest winning percentage among active coaches in the country. Folks, I'm going to try it today. I may not get all the way to the final gun, but I'm going to try it. I'll tell you right now, if it gets a little funny and fuzzy, I've got the clue. Now, let's talk about this game, Frank. Back in the midsummer, when Barry Switzer talked to ABC about changing the game, making it the end of the season instead of the opener for them, it looked like it might be for the national championship.
Keith, it's still for the national championship with Oklahoma. The stakes are high for the Sooners. They've got a chance if they can win today and go down to the Orange Bowl and have a chance to win there. They're in the hunt. And make no mistake about it, Oklahoma is a great football team. They've got talent on offense and defense. SMU, for the last 4 years, has had the best record in college football. 41 wins, 5 losses, 17 starters coming back from the 8th-ranked team last year. All-conference tailback and quarterback. They were expected to do great. They've had some disappointments, but today it's their big bowl game. and we can expect enthusiasm and purpose that all great football teams have.
Well, I think as the season goes on through that probation, the sanction, it just gets heavier and heavier and weighs you down.
Well, the coaches have been trying to pinpoint the problems. They've police-spec everything that they could possibly do at practice, and they've come up with one conclusion. It's mental. And we know, Keith, that your attitude, not your aptitude, determines your altitude. So today they're going to get a peak performance out of these guys.
All right, what does Oklahoma have to win? A ball game. What do they have to lose? Their chance at the national championship. They have everything to lose.
And Switzer is worried. I spent yesterday with him. He says that SMU is a sleeping giant. And look at Barry's position. He has already clinched the Orange Bowl bid, the Big 8 championship. Normally the season is over. So he's got to reach back and get his team to come out with another great effort after normal season would be over. He's worried, and he has every right to be.
Well, let's see if it's eggshells or artificial turf. We'll find out in just a moment in Norman, Oklahoma.
What do you do when you already build one of the best production sports cars in the world? If you're Nissan, you build it even better. You widen the track, reduce air turbulence, dramatically improve its already legendary handling and performance. No wonder Motor Trend magazine called this new 300ZX the best all-around Z car ever built. When you're talking performance, the name is Nissan.
Manage. To handle or direct with skill. Rockwell International Management stimulates the work of its 120,000 employees, 1 in 6 a scientist or engineer. Their elegant solutions to customer needs make Rockwell a world leader. Rockwell International. Managing high technology for global markets.
Sinus congestion.
I can breathe again.
Ah, the sweet smell of success. Get it with 12-hour Nostrella and Nostro with the one-way spray pump. It delivers a measured dose of penetrating mist every time. Squeeze sprays don't. You can't buy more effective sinus medicine. Ah, the sweet smell of success. Only 12-hour Nostrella and Nostro regular or mild have the one-way pump. You can't give your nose more advanced relief.
Success. The car won't start.
Before winter trouble strikes, give your gas an STP tune-up. Used regularly, STP gas treatment helps break up and remove water to prevent gas line freeze-ups.
STP is the racer's edge.
When you've got to go in ice and snow, you're gonna go with Prestone.
Driving just 10,000 miles on weak, neglected antifreeze can leave a radiator looking this bad, while the Prestone radiator looks this good.
America goes with Prestone.
Back here in Norman, Oklahoma. Hello again, everybody. I'm Tim Brandt on the sidelines, and I have mentioned the fact, or Keith Jackson has mentioned the fact, that Oklahoma quarterback Jamel Holloway spent part of this week in the infirmary. He left practice early Wednesday. He missed practice on Thursday and checked out of the infirmary yesterday. I have just spoken with Jamel. He says he feels 100%, and he feels very sharp as far as his passing is concerned and his running. Then I spoke to Barry Switzer, the head coach at Oklahoma, asked if he was concerned at all about the stamina of Jamel Holloway, and he said absolutely not. The only thing sore right now in Jamel may be his derriere, where he received a shot of vitamin B12. One other note from down here on the sidelines. There is a tremendous wind blowing right now, and it is swirling down here at midfield. That may affect the kicking game today. And let me update you on another score very quickly. Army has now come back to tie Navy. 7-7 is the score there. And we're all set down here, Keith. I hope you are up there.
Well, we'll muddle along, Timmy. That other Keith Jackson, incidentally, also had 2 days in the infirmary, so the Sooners squad has been bothered by flu problems this week. At least 2 of their key people, and Oklahoma will be kicking off while SMU will receive. Very important thing, I think, here in the early going in a ball game that is as fragile as this one. There is no definitive character for this ball game at this particular juncture, Frank. But if SMU should take the first possession and stick it in the end zone, I'd start getting a hold of something solid.
Their emotions would be so high, Keith, they would play better than they have any time this year. You'd hit it right on the head, the starting point for SMU to stay and have a chance in this ball game. Keep the ball, thereby keeping that great Oklahoma offense over on the bench. That's the way to stop the Oklahoma offense.
Tim Lashier hangs it up in the air toward the corner man. Sliding over is Andrew Livingston, a junior out of Fort Worth, Texas. And you don't get back to the 20 all that often against Oklahoma. He stopped at the 18. Don King is in at quarterback for SMU. Reggie Dupart, he's a 200-pounder. Gary Hashaway is the fullback at 195. Ron Morris is the flanker at 6'2", 190. And Jeffrey Jacobs is the split end at 6'3" and 205. SMU wearing the white on the road. From the 18, first down. Pitch it out, option play. It's a form of a wishbone option type play, except it just doesn't have the particular mechanics. 235 is Albert Reese's weight. Craig Kennington is 275 at tackle. Kevin McKinney's 260 at guard. Mike Eidson, 265 at center. The other guard is Dave Richards, 300-pounder. Biggin. And Roy Dunn, 270. So they pick up on the play, a first down, as the ball comes out to the 28-yard line, and the Ponies now have some room. Don King turns it up the middle and pops out of there. And gets out to about the 37-yard line, where he is brought down by Derek White, the cornerback. Reed, Tupper, Casillas, Brian Murphy, just about as good as you want up on that front. Milazzo and Bosworth aren't too bad either. The defensive secondary, you've got David Beckers moving in there at the free safety today. And he's made the move ahead of Tony Rayburn. I seem to think that David might be a little better on the pass. Second down and 2 for SMU. As they give the ball to Hashaway, the fullback, and he'll have the first down at the 40. Well, even though they line up in the I, Frank, SMU still retains some of the basic characteristics of the veer or even the wishbone, I think, if you want to call it that.
Exactly, Keith. They fake the fullback in the same area that Oklahoma does. The only difference, instead of the lead back, they have the tight end as the extra blocker, and they've made good yardage, and 2 times they've run the option play.
From the 40, first down. They send Morris in motion past the ball, right it to the fullback. Quarterback King keeps it, pops across midfield, and will have a first down at the Oklahoma 47.
Keith, the strategy that SMU is using, putting the formation into the boundary, and the motion man adds an extra blocker, and the Oklahoma defense has shifted to the wide side, leaving them short on the boundary. Reese making the key block there, the tight end. King is a good runner. Don't forget that. King is a passer and a runner deluxe, all conference in the Southwest.
They've done it all on the ground, and they've got a first down at the Oklahoma 47. And he gives the ball to Reggie Dupart, and Dupart will get 5 on that carry. Dupart is out of New Orleans, Louisiana. He is a senior, and he's had 1,000 yards the last 3 seasons.
This is the most unbelievable statistic that we have seen for SMU, not scoring a touchdown the last 8 quarters, but on the other hand, just as unbelievable is Oklahoma defense.
Second down and 5. Ride the fullback, pitch it out to Dupart, gets around the corner, hits the 35 and goes out at the 34. And that's another first down.
When you have an All-American Lombardi Trophy winner, number 92, Casillas, Tony right there. How many men they got on him, Keith? Look at that. They got 3 men, and the 4th one is coming in. That's what we call the veer blocking. We didn't expect that many men to take him, but they certainly moved him out of the play. SMU looks good running into the narrow side of the field, getting Oklahoma outnumbered on that short side.
Going to have to send some linebackers here in a minute, though, because they're chewing them up. From the 34, pitches outside, goes to Dupart. Dupart to the 29. So their running plays, 7 plays, have been 11 yards, 9, 3, 12, 5, 8, and 5 yards.
One thing they're given, as we look at what Reggie Dupart has done, just outstanding. Good inside runner. We've seen that today. Good on open field. Instincts when he gets in the secondary. But Keith, SMU's given Oklahoma some check problems, and Oklahoma defense hadn't been lined up properly yet.
Second down, about 5. Dupart again splits the defenders and gets inside the 20 and close to the 17 for another SMU first down. Sonny Brown, the strong safety, made the tackle.
When you run into the narrow side of the field, Oklahoma has set their strong safety to the wide side of the field. They're one man short, but we get a good block by Morris, the receiver, and the safety man has to make the play. Brown, number 8, but not before another nice gain. Good strategy by SMU. They've got Oklahoma upset a little bit now. They're a great defensive team.
Dupart has 5 carries in this possession and 41 of the yards. And their first down at the Oklahoma 17. King, again, Dupart outside to the 10. Crossed the 10 a little bit. And that's 7 yards.
Oklahoma made the first adjustment that they've done in this entire drive by moving into the boundary for the first time, and they played it a little bit better, but Dupart made the defensive end miss the tackle, thereby gaining 8 yards on the play.
Now you see Jacobs go way wide and out of the picture.
Formation into the boundary.
Second down and 3. And carrying is Hashaway, the fullback of SMU out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And he gets pointed with Brian Bosworth, but he's down to the 3-yard line before Bosworth can wrestle him down. And it's first and goal.
Number 44, Oklahoma coaches say he's the best linebacker in America. We'll be talking a lot about him. But right there, he's got to pull the fullback down. But Hashaway runs right through him for extra yardage.
It's first and goal. Well, just inside the 4. They go to Dupart. Touchdown, Mustangs.
What a tremendous drive against the best defensive team in America, and I want to know if you knew something. Before the game started, you said they were going to score on this first drive. Look at the blocking, the fullback leading right there. Hashaway blocking the linebacker, Miliazzo, and Dupart showing that he's not only a good outside runner, he's tough inside for the touchdown.
They didn't throw the ball a single time, which boggles my mind. The kick is low, but good. At 10 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the first quarter, it is 7-0 SMU as the Mustangs run the ball 11 times, go 82 yards, and they handle Tony Casillas all the way down the field, keeping the Lombardi Trophy winner away from their ball carriers. And who knows what this day may bring.
Aggressor tank spotted.
Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go!
Alpha 1-3,
In a battle drill, you've got good guys and you've got bad guys. The hunter and the hunted.
We got it for Fox. You can get him. Let's get him.
If you're gonna win, you need horsepower, firepower, people power. That's teamwork.
Moving tank, direct front, 2,000.
This team uses a computer, thermalsight, laser rangefinder.
We win, the whole tank wins. The whole team wins, not just one person.
Find your future in the Army.
Reggie Dupart exulted after his touchdown run, capping that 82-yard drive. Most impressive by SMU. And they go out to a 7-0 lead now. Kicking off, Randy Brownlee to Patrick Collins and Leon Perry. Perry is the bigger man, a fullback, number 2. Collins is number 33. And it is Perry letting the ball go through the end zone, and it'll be Oklahoma first down at the 20. Jamel Holloway, freshman out of Carson, California, 5'11", 175. For the Sooners, Lydell Carr, the big fullback, 215. Spencer Tillman starts today, getting sounder every week, 205. And Patrick Collins, 5'10" and 185. Derek Shepard is the wide receiver, 5'11", 185. And let's see now what Jamel Holloway can do. On that drive, Reggie Dupart for SMU, 7 carries, 52 yards. And he went from 5th to 3rd among the all-time Southwest Conference running backs in the record book. Holloway fakes it to the fullback, keeps it around the corner, and he's out of bounds, short of the mark. I think. Nope, they're going to mark him over the 30, and it'll be a first down. Keith Jackson, 240. What a game he had against Nebraska. Eric Pope, 265 at tackle. Mark Hudson, 280 at guard. Rick Ewells is at center, 250, and he is not a regular center. Paul Ferrer, 260 at guard, will play some center today. And Anthony Phillips at 275. Anthony may have to play tackle and guard because it's in the offensive front that Oklahoma is banged up. So it's a first down for the Sooners, just over the 30. Ball is loose on the ground, and SMU's got it.
Nope, the official.
Nope. I think man in a
Holloway
white shirt
got it back.
How in the world did he do that?
I don't know. The ball, when the SMU man dived on it, Keith, it appeared to me that the ball slid right out, and Holloway running a little bit of a counter play.
Cornelius Dozier.
He had the ball, but he didn't end up with it. What happened in the... Let's see if we can carefully look and see.
Yeah, Holloway just took it away from him.
He sure did. Just pulled it out of his hand.
So they are lucky. Second down and 9. Outside it goes this time to Spencer Tillman. Spencer Tillman finally getting his health back after being aggravated by a hamstring pull for the better part of 2 seasons. The defensive unit for SMU, Mann, Ball, and Johnson, the down people. Jerry Ball, when he's on his game, number 34, is about as well. He's the only guy in the country probably that 2 guys that might be considered better at that particular position would be Tony Casillas and Mike Ruth. Roderick Jones, incidentally, is not in there at quarterback. He came up with a sprained ankle apparently in the warm-ups and is not on the field. On third down and about 1.5 yards, Tillman slants at the right side, and the spot will determine whether or not he got the first down. It doesn't look terribly gratuitous, but we'll see.
If I believe the spot going to be close. But talking about the wishbone, what's making Oklahoma so explosive is the fact that the quarterback, Holloway, has rushed for over 800 yards. And that means the defense has got to stop Holloway plus both halfbacks and the fullback up the middle, Jackson on the pass, and the defenses for the last 8 ball games have given up over 500 yards.
I forgot where I was, Frank. You're 18 stories up here at Oklahoma. You really can't spot the ball like you can at some other places. It is a first down for the Sooners, just over the 41. Holloway lets it go to Lydell Carr. And Carr takes a double thump as he moves it across the 45.
One of the plays that Arkansas against SMU 2 weeks ago in the wishbone had success with was the fullback right up the middle. And looking at the film, you would anticipate Oklahoma starting with a fullback up the middle. Instead, they've gone wide and got the ball pitched better than they had hoped to early in the first quarter.
Second down and 5. This goes to Tillman, and Spencer will be close to another first down. He looks like the old Spencer Tillman now, doesn't he?
Spencer Tillman was an all-conference player as a freshman, as Keith has already talked about. Rushed for 1,000 yards as a freshman. That's something that no one in Oklahoma history had ever done before, but then he's been bothered by injuries both his sophomore year, and he missed the first he was hurt against Minnesota and then missed 4 ball games, so as Keith said, he's just back healthy.
3rd and 1. Carr is jumped on, but his surge may be enough. Jerry Ball, 6-footer, 255. Watch him, number 34.
Keith, he was a fullback in high school, and our people in the Southwest Conference think he's the best defensive lineman in our conference. Right there, you can see where he shot the gap. He angled in between the center and guard and was able to penetrate and stop the fullback close to first down, Keith. It looked like he got a good spot. Oh, no, he didn't either. It's 4th down.
Good foot short.
Yes, it is. Oklahoma's got a tough decision to make here. Well, the first quarter trailing 7-0.
Go for it.
I think they'll go for it too. That big offensive line and the fullback and the wishbone. So many times, defensive teams in defending the wishbone on short yardage get crowded up inside, and Oklahoma is taking it wide and scored with the ball. They're going for it.
Gabriel De La Garza comes onto the field. And out comes a defensive back, or no, an end it is. They want the quickness of De La Garza, who is a linebacker. Quarterback sneak by Holloway is good for the first down. He just hitched up his wagon to Rick Yules. And old Rick, like a pair of mules, just dragged him on down the field.
Well, the one thing you want to do on short yards is run to the uncovered lineman, and the center does not have a man lined up on him, only a linebacker. So the quickest way to make a foot is right at the area of the linebacker. Good call by the quarterback.
Ball is resting at the SMU 48. Mustangs leading in the ball game 7-0. Opened with an 82-yard, 11-play drive and didn't throw it one time.
Unbalanced line, Keith. They're going to try to get it pitched wide to this side as a rule.
Well, they give it to Carr up close, and Carr doesn't get anything out of it. And number 13, Keith Brooks, a strong safety, had lined up over here, and he was anticipating the same thing you were, because the minute the ball was snapped, he took off. He was going to get in the middle of that thing and mess it up.
Penetration is what SMU would like to get. Defensive penetration into that backfield and disrupt the timing of quarterback Holloway. That's what they're trying to do. Ball has done it once and Brooks once.
We've had 20 runs so far in the ball game, yet to have a forward pass. And Holloway turns it in this time, keeping it to the 42 and brought down by Cornelius Dozier. Dozier got him well short of the first down, so they'll be looking at 3rd and 4.
Keith, on that last play, we saw exactly how tough Holloway is to bring down. An arm will not bring him down. It takes a shoulder to stop him. His legs are working like pistons, and he has power of a bigger back.
It's a good 4 yards on 3rd down. Well, they give it to Lydell Carr, and I think he's got it. It's amazing, this particular offensive formation, how quickly you can cover 5 yards.
Keith, the thing about the wishbone is that they have 6 simultaneous threats from one sideline to the other. That's a triple option to the right, the triple option to the left, and that makes the defense line up in such a way that each defensive man is on an island, Keith. He's on an island by himself. He's got to make the play in his area, and he's not going to get any help from anybody else.
Is that a Robert Louis Stevenson island?
No help.
First down.
Here's the blitz. That is what we expected Nebraska to do. Double blitz from the outside, Keith.
Cornelius Dozier, number 99, coming from the outside, nailed him, and Holloway is dumped back outside the 40.
The quarterback has no chance when there's a outside blitz. But Ball, number 34, Oklahoma thinks so much of his ability that when they're going to run the option play, they had blocking on him Hudson, an all-conference player, and Pope.
Damon Stell checks into the lineup now. Tillman is out. First pass of the game on 2nd down and 13. Ball goes to Keith Jackson. Shakes one, gets inside the 30, and knocked out of bounds around the 27-yard line. Close to a first down.
The one big thing, Keith, that's helped the wishbone is the offensive line being able to use their hands. They now have an auxiliary offense. This is just a double crossing of the ends, opening up right in front of the linebackers. And right there we can see that Dozier could not bring him down before the big, strong Keith Jackson made the first down.
Ball is marked just inside the 27. Tillman's back in now. Lined up at the left side of the wishbone. Holloway looked for somebody to throw to. Nobody there. Now he's got to pull it down and run with it. And he does something with it, doesn't he? Picks up about 11 yards.
It's been a long time. It's been a long, long time since I've seen a quarterback that can be so electrifying. Here's a freshman supposed to throw to the tight end. He was covered. Now he's directing traffic down to the wide receiver. SMU's trying to hem him up, but watch him go right through the, I think that was Case, the linebacker, tried to tackle him short of the first down. He couldn't do it.
He picked up close to 13 yards, didn't he? Ball is just inside the 15. It's first down for the Sooners. They're trying to respond to SMU's opening touchdown, giving it to Carr, the fullback. And Lydell is going to be given at least the 12-yard line.
Since the first possession, the start of this first possession, SMU has changed their defense, Keith. They've backed the linebackers out a little bit deeper where they can help more on the outside plays, particularly the middle linebacker. And so we can look for Oklahoma to run more right up the middle.
Lee Morris has come in at the wideout, replacing Shepard. 16th play of this possession by Oklahoma. 2nd down and 7 from the 12. Holloway turning the corner. And thrown out at the 7 by Frankie Thomas and Monty Goen. Frankie Thomas being a sophomore out of Mount Pleasant, Texas, and Monty Goen comes from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Keith, Frankie Thomas, the safety, as we look at Jamie Holloway, has gained more yardage rushing than any OU quarterback since Steve Davis in 1973, and he's only been a starter, what, the last 7 games?
Yeah, he came in the 4th game. So he started the 5th game.
Started the 5th game, 6 games.
3rd down, 3. Oh, look at this. Leon Perry had lined up at right halfback. Previously, we've seen Perry working with Lydell Carr at fullback, but Perry came in, lined up at right half, took the ball, and almost scored.
This is double isolation. Lead by the fullback, lead by the left halfback. Good blocking on the left side of the line by Hudson and Pope, and Hughes, the center, cleared the way for Perry to go to the 1.
And it's 1st and goal for the Sooners. 3:27 to go in the first quarter. Holloway trying to sneak it in, I think, is turned away. Looked like he stuck his head in there and somebody busted him, and
he fumbled the ball too.
Does he still have it? No, SMU got it. Maybe that's why he stuck his head in the pile. He never got the ball off the snap.
Well, SMU pinched their defensive tackles, and Holloway tried to go in the gap to the left of the center. Watch him go over here to the left. He's trying to go all the way to the left, and the ball is popped out right there. It's laying over here on the ground. SMU recovers it and stops the drive.
Whoa, is that a turnaround, folks? At 3:07 to go, first quarter.
Once upon a time, long, long ago, a story was written of action, adventure, and mystery. A story told and retold for generations. Now the story is here for you to discover and for you to pass on to others. Give the modern, easy-to-read Bible everyone can enjoy. Unwrap the true meaning of Christmas. Give the book and the book for children.
Sometimes I miss my girl so bad. I jump inside my Nissan King Cab. Across the hills, I take the shortcut into town. My King Cab stuffers any truck around.
Hey, Bobby, how about a lift? No room. Your Nissan King Cab's got plenty of room.
Sometimes there's just too much room in a Nissan King Cab. For the #1 selling extended cab compact, the name is Nissan.
Tomorrow in a Sunday night special, the Pittsburgh Steelers tangle with San Diego. And Monday night, the Rams and 49ers battle for first place. All on ABC Sports.
18 plays, 79 yards, no cigar.
Here's what caused the fumble. Seems to be right here that the offensive guard gets knocked back just a little bit, and as Holloway is trying to go outside of the guard, which is dangerous for the quarterback, he doesn't have quite the momentum or the push in his legs to gain any strength. So the ball was fumbled and SMU recovered.
At their own 1-yard line. So here come the Mustangs. Now let's see. Gary Hashaway, Bobby Morrison, Jeff Atkins opens at the deep back position, but they stay up front with Hashaway, the fullback. And Gary will have a yard out to the 2. Jeff Atkins has been pretty much splitting the time.
SMU had been very successful, Keith, as you were about to point out, with the tailback splitting the time. They did that with James and Dickerson, one big with them alternating, and they've done the same thing 3 years with Atkins and DePard. DePard gets to stay in a little bit more in the fourth quarter than Atkins.
Well, DePard has not come back in, and Atkins has come out. On second down and 9, Reggie has the ball. Wraps it up in both arms and gets out close to the 5.
Keith, I'm not saying that we should take, that SMU should take big gambles right here, but some risk-taking is essential for SMU to win this ball game. In that first drive, they pitched the ball on the option play 5 different times and make big gains out of it. A little play-action pass, all tackle fake and throw deep might be in order here. Anything that would happen to keep the possession of the ball, at least make one more first down before they have to punt him to win.
Dupart and Atkins both in there now as King goes down the line with it. Keeps it on the corner, and the Sooners bury it. Steve Bryan and Derek White in particular. And so the Ponies now will punt it.
Anytime that the SMU fakes up the middle, they have a chance to block the great linebacker Bosworth. He has to stay there. See how much he hesitated right there before he could get outside and make the play.
Kick is up into the wind, not very long. Derek Shepard brings it back to the 35-yard line. The Sooners good field position.
Well, the third quarter earnings report is going to be released tomorrow. Uh-huh. Yeah,
There's a remarkable telephone system called Omni that can actually grow as your company grows, mostly without changing it, but by simply reprogramming it. So you can have the latest telecommunications capabilities, both voice and data, no matter how big you get.
Gee.
No, GTE.
The enemy, snow. You never know when your car might lose its grip. Hence, the design logic for Vector. Goodyear's exceptional handling all-season radial. Its aggressive crisscross tread actually cleans itself for superb control on snow and ice. You either have Goodyear Vectors or you need them.
We mentioned at the outset eggshells for this game. Oklahoma coach Barry Switzer says this about SMU.
Everyone's talking about Orange Bowl, National Championship, Penn State, the polls, all these things. Here SMU is sitting there with probably one of the most talented football teams in the country that hasn't played to their potential, and I think that this is their last chance to do that on national television because they're going to be off of it for a long time.
By that he means they're on probation for 2 years. First down. Ball inside the 35. Holloway. Collins. And all the way across the field out of bounds down around the 36. No, the 26, excuse me.
The play that Oklahoma just ran was the first repeat of the first play of the ball game. It's something they added to this ball game. A counter option. They thought that they could hold the SMU linebackers and get the ball pitched, and they did. But keep going back to SMU on probation. I think on their own sanctions only 1 year. Television sanctions for 1 year only. So they will not be on television.
They got dinged 2 years on scholarships.
That's right. That's correct.
Holloway gives it to Perry in the fullback position, and Leon Perry gets inside the 25 to the 23.
One thing about the option play, you can always double team the best defensive player. Ball is number 34, the best defensive player. We see Farrell and the right tackle over there, Phillips, drive him to the ground. That's the one thing you can do on the wishbone because you're optioning not blocking the tackle in the end.
Got him a first down at the SMU 23. They had it first and goal on the 1 while ago and coughed it up as Holloway fumbled it away. Up the middle goes Perry. First down and goal, Oklahoma at the SMU 6.
What a great read by the young quarterback. The quarterback on the triple option reads himself to the outside. But when the fullback fakes up there and the defensive end is coming for him, right here you see the defensive end hit Holloway. But whoa, what's happened? The fullback Perry has the ball. They get him down on the 6.
I don't think Holloway's going to call his own number this time.
He got hit right in the breadbasket.
And they go to Perry, who lines up at the right halfback position. So you've got two fullbacks. You've got the bull backfield in there for Oklahoma with Lydell Carr and Leon Perry.
Carr was the starting fullback last year, and Perry's been alternating with him for the last 4 or 5 games. But Perry was really a halfback in high school and was a halfback for Oklahoma in the first 3 ball games, Keith. 220 pounds.
Ball is on the 3-yard line. Army-Navy even at halftime. Keeley got hurt out of the ball game, Army quarterback, and the first quarter is done here. So we have SMU leading Oklahoma 7-0 after 1.
Hey, hot shot! Race you back to the start. Okay, loser buys.
There's something about a Nissan 4x4 that makes turning it off just about the toughest thing you can do. Nissan calls it electro-fuel injection, independent front suspension, and a tough box ladder steel chassis. You just call it outrageous performance.
Who won? Who cares?
For an unbeatable 4x4, the name is Nissan.
Boston, you have 2 more minutes for your choice.
We still need a linebacker. What does the computer say?
It says check the master file back at the office.
Office?
The office.
Atlanta, stand by.
Okay, we need a linebacker.
If your business's future depends on information and records, a Hayes modem would help it run smarter.
Computer says Honnesvega, unless Boston gets...
Boston, what's the delay?
Office, Commissioner.
Boston selects Ortega. Orpus.
Hey.
A real sleeper?
Hey, no.
Say yes to the future with Hayes.
In a high-tech fighter, avionics like these are your eyes. In your car, this eye tells you the all-weather Delco Freedom battery is raring to go. One glance is all the maintenance it takes in any weather, from the blazing desert heat to flash frozen with sub-zero liquid gas. You'll see why Delco is the world's largest producer of maintenance-free batteries.
Get rebates now on Delco Freedom batteries. Call 800-AC-DELCO for a participating retailer.
Never wait for trouble.
Still at $19.95, Metro's a better buy than entertainment. Just ask anyone. Available at ACO, Century Drugs, Eastland, Oakland, and Trappers Alley malls.
Don't say beer, say bull. The Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull.
The Bull has more taste than beer.
No one does it like the Bull.
Take a window seat aboard the space shuttle and see the world. The dream is alive at the Detroit Science Center. For your seat, call 577-8400.
It's a 7-0 ball game. SMU has the lead. Opening possession, 82 yards in 11 plays. Oklahoma drove it right back downfield, but then fumbled the ball on the 1, and now, having held SMU, they're back knocking on the door one more time. It is 2nd down on the 3. And Holloway coming down the line, pitches outside, the race to the corner, and penalty flag as Anthony Stafford is grabbed by the face mask inadvertently. Derek Reed, coming up from that corner position, reached out to get him because Stafford is a speedster. He's only a freshman, but he can fly, and he got the face mask.
Stafford is from St. Louis, one of the fastest backs Oklahoma's had in recent years on just straight speed, 4.3 in the 40-yard dash. Reed grabs his face mask right there, and that could be 15 half the distance goal and a first down. That was twisting, Keith, a little bit more than it was incidental.
We have face mask. Ordinarily would be a 15-yard penalty, which is an automatic first down. First and goal on the 1.
Vance Carlson, the referee. Louis Shuffle, umpire. Dale Shears, head linesman. Walt Coleman, line judge. Terry Turlington, the field judge. Billy Walters, side judge. And Dan Upson, the back judge.
Keith, this is a split crew of officials. 4 from the Big 8, 3 from the Southwest Conference.
2 fullbacks in the backfield, Carr and Perry, with Tillman. Tillman, touchdown.
Impressive drive by Oklahoma. Here Tillman goes over the top. Both backs are leading. You have 3 blockers on that side, plus your fullback, plus your halfback. Linebackers could not penetrate. Tillman, number 20, goes right over the top for the score.
And it comes with 14:52 to go in the first half. Lasher in for the extra point try out of hold of Sonny Brown. And he makes it. He's now kicked 59 consecutive extra points.
Keith, it was either running into the kicker or holder or either roughing. One would be a 5-yard penalty. The other would be 15. Running into just 5 yards. Or
we'll be back. And we'll tell you what the call is when we come back.
Foul. Running in.
I can't believe the car broke down again.
Keep walking.
We should have bought that Nissan Sentra.
Should have bought a Sentra.
Sentra's America's best-selling import, but do we have one? Oh, no.
Should have bought a Sentra.
The Browns have a Sentra. They swear by it. Drove cross-country. We break down going across the street.
Need a lift? Yes. Thank you.
See? It's a Sentra.
For quality you can depend on. Name is Nissan.
The good life in America means reaching for your dream.
The Equitable manages over $20 billion of real estate that not only provides a better place to live and work for millions of Americans, it also provides a substantial return for the people who invest with us.
We are the Equitable. Yes, we'll help you live the good life. We are the Equitable. We can help your dreams come true.
Well, we're all tied at 7-7, and Bobby Collins, the head man of the SMU Mustangs, said right up to the point, this is our bowl game yesterday.
Well, I think that in many ways it's like a bowl game. The fact that it's the last game of the year, we're playing a nationally ranked football team and it's on television. And we've had an open date since our last conference game. So in that sense, it would be, but it's our 11th game, and all those reasons makes it, most important to us.
Well, Keith, Bobby Collins has had a great career since he came to SMU. The team has won, 47 games and lost 9. In the 80s winning percentage, just outstanding. And that first drive of SMU's, that was as pretty as we've seen all year for the opening possession.
Now I want to see what Oklahoma, how they handle the second. Believe it or not, SMU is just now really going to get the ball with field position to operate for the second time in the game. They were pinned down there a while ago and couldn't do anything. It'll be interesting to see what Oklahoma will change and what they will do. That ball is kicked beyond the playing area. It'll come out to the 20 for the Mustangs, and here's Jim.
Keith, here's a fascinating note from the world of college basketball. The NCAA announced today that the brilliant Indiana University guard Steve Alford has been suspended and will be barred from playing tonight against Kentucky. Alford apparently posed for a sorority calendar, the proceeds of which were to be donated to a girls' camp. And of course, it goes without saying that the NCAA sometimes operates in what appear on the surface to be strange ways. No Alford tonight against Kentucky. Yours, Keith.
That's ridiculous. Oh, me. That's one of the problems they've got. Ticky-tack everywhere you turn. This is number 32, Jeff Atkins. He fumbles the football. The Sooners dive on it, and they've got it. That's the 37.
Oh, Jeff Atkins had made a great run. Determined run. Second effort was fighting his way, struggling for extra yardage when the ball popped right out. Looked like it was Vickers that knocked the ball out, number 10, the safety man, but let's see. Just the old blast play right up the middle. See if you can find a crease, and he does. He's got the ball in that left arm.
No, it's Murphy.
Number 8.
Murphy, 39, knocked it out of there. And I think Steve Bryan, 86, came up with it. Kevin Murphy's the guy that separated man and ball. The Sooners will start from the 38, let's call it. And Holloway keeping on the corner. That's 6.
That was the play they added, Keith, to fake to the tight end reverse. They faked the reverse to the tight end, and Holloway kept the ball.
38 yards. Holloway scampers, weaving through some traffic. But once I saw him out there in the open with a guard and a tackle escort, I knew he was going to score.
Keith, he made at least 3 people miss him. He could have been tackled for no gain by SMU. But here again, we see that he's hard to get down in an open field, not just because of his quickness, but the strength that he possesses also.
Dead ball foul. Movement on the interior line on the offense. Still one play for a try. Go ahead and go out with him.
The ball is just inside the 15 now. This makes it right at a 25-yard extra point for Tim Lasher. Good. So he's hit 60 in a row, 14:36 to go in the first half of play, and it's 14-7. The Sooners of Oklahoma go out to the lead. Now, he had the flu for 2 days. Dadgummit, he's out there frolicking around like there's nothing wrong with him.
Keith, they fake the reverse to the tight end, and then it puts Hollifield out with Collins blocking for him, and he just cuts in inside of Collins' block as Collins has blocked 2 SMU players. Here it is again from the right of your screen. Watch the fake to the fullback, then the fake to the tight end. Now Holloway's got it. 33. Collins a block, the offensive halfback. He blocks 99 back, and he ends up getting a piece of or crippling the tackle effort of Frankie, the safety man. Then the weak side picks up Holloway, and he walks in. Now, what happens on a reverse play when a good defensive lineman wants to chase the ball? He's been told all week, watch out for the reverse. Watch out for the reverse. Here he goes. He's chasing Keith Jackson after the fake. But no good. The ball went the other way for the touchdown.
And Lasher kicks it. Now it's Todd Thompson kicking off. Knocks it into the end zone. I don't think Thompson allowed any returns. U.S. Amateur Boxing Championships coming up next week. Blocked out in Tulsa and live except out on the West Coast. And what this is really is it's the beginning of the formation of another Olympic team. Because every year after the Olympics have been held, here come all these eager young faces. And they slowly but surely mature into Olympians. It'll be always fun to watch them grow up. First down. SMU at the 20. King turns all the way around and then is knocked down at the 16-yard line. And either King went the wrong way or everybody else in the backfield did.
Somebody went the wrong way. He changed the play at the line of scrimmage. So if that is the case, he's using audible right there. And nope, the linemen were blocking the left. King called the play and still went the wrong way. The linemen are blocking as if it was go to the left, and King went to the right, causing the loss.
It's kind of dangerous.
You're going to get some lost yardage.
Loss 4. Second down, 14. Lose another one. Back to the 15. As Paul Migliazzo, junior out of Kansas City. There.
This was the option play, Keith, that they didn't have an inside fake. And the linebackers then can move and make the tackle on the quarterback. Migliazzo, number 42, just moved right outside the tackle and made the hit on King. First passing situation. Here the Sooners allowed 1.1. That's something else. First down per quarter.
Third and about 15. Well, they still haven't thrown. That's a pretty good effort by King. And he's not that far from a first down, but he'll be ruled out somewhere around the 27-28.
King made a great effort, and King's had an outstanding career, both as a runner and passer. Receivers were covered. He didn't want to take any chance throwing the ball deep. On his side of the field, Oklahoma scoring on the last turnover. So he ran the ball. Oklahoma has had 24 rushes and 1 pass and yardage, and SMU hasn't made a yard throwing the ball. That's overkicking your coverage if you're not careful, Bruce.
Dodge Carter came in averaging right at 44 And he turned that one over and got 50 out of it. Sooners have it at their 32.
Big boys got what it takes. Full tilt, all out, holy flakes. Nothing halfway, nothing sweet. Just a great big crunch of good whole wheat. Yeah, hey, banana, move aside. These big flakes got nothing to hide. Wheaties, Wheaties, good whole wheat. Now go tell your mama what the big boys eat.
Some safety equipment, special shocks and wheels. They're the only difference between this Nissan 200SX and this Nissan 200SX. The 1985 SCCA Endurance Cup champ. Otherwise, they're identical. You get the same precise handling, the same advanced fuel-injected performance, the same race-proven dependability, no matter which 200SX you buy. Nice thing is, you want both. You only have to buy one. For championship performance, the name is Nissan.
Coach Barry Switzer talking about his favorite quarterback, Jamel Holloway, says this.
He is probably the most talented quarterback at this time that we've had play here, other than my second-team quarterback, Eric Mitchell, is probably physically more talented than he is. But he is a very fine option quarterback, very poised, well-confident player, and extremely exciting to watch.
He is that.
He is that. That was a sensational run that he made for that last touchdown, but there goes Derek Shepard, their wide receiver, punt returner, the third of the three brothers to play for Oklahoma, from Odessa, Texas. Hope he's not hurt seriously.
He's a junior. What are they looking at, ankle or knee?
I couldn't tell, Keith.
All right, OU's ball, first down, they're 32. Holloway, Perry, Tillman, Carr, Collins, Stafford all have carried the ball. Holloway has 70 yards. Lead all rushers. This is Tillman. And Spencer's got 5.
Keith, the Oklahoma offensive line are getting some surge. Tillman did not meet any resistance from SMU until he'd already gained 3 yards. I think SMU really would like to, if they possibly could, get some penetration. They've gone back now to their odd defense. They've changed defenses. No, they shifted back.
Give him 6 on the previous carry. Call this second down and 4. And outside goes Holloway for the first down. And then steps out of bounds to avoid abuse up at the 46-yard line.
Oklahoma are so diversified today compared to their wishbone of 5 or 6 years ago.
Here's Tim Brent.
Keith, the medical staff here behind the Oklahoma bench is still working on split end Derek Shepard's shin. They think it is the tibia. They are hoping it is just a bad bruise, but it hurts him just to tap that bone. They are still examining it, and we'll get you an update as soon as we know. Hopefully there's no fracture, but it is the tibia, the big bone in the shin.
Thank you, Tim. Doc's been helping keep me alive here for the last day and a half, too. The ball on this surge is up near midfield. Leon Perry carrying.
This is a critical possession for the SMU defense. They have not done much to stop the Oklahoma offense on 3 possessions. 2 touchdowns and a fumble on the 1. So SMU needs to tighten up and stiffen up and force the punt if they want to stay in this game.
They're not penetrating.
Yeah, no penetration.
No penetration at all.
The offensive guard's doing a great job.
Well, there's some penetration. But actually, more than penetration, it was just a matter of him staying at home and letting the running back come to him.
One thing that we all do in trying to defend the wishbone is over pursuit. They have so much speed, the wishbone teams do, and you just want to take off with them and try to head them off at the corner, and it leaves you vulnerable, Keith. You're right on cutbacks and plays up the middle when you overplay in the pitch. Oh, look at the spread formation. 3 receivers, Keith.
Don't see that often. The Sooners, and Holloway back to throw. Now he's going to get a little heat, but he's going to pop it out in the open, and there's a good saving tackle by John Eichmann, isn't it? Number 65, who reached in there and got a piece of him and brought him down, maybe stopped the score. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, well, it's not Monday, it's Sunday. First off, Pittsburgh Steelers out west against the San Diego Chargers. That'll be at 9 Eastern time, of course 6 o'clock out on the West Coast. And then here's one that'll have tremendous meaning insofar as the NFC West is concerned. The Los Angeles Rams will be at San Francisco. 49ers whacked the Rams all pretty good in Anaheim. They have just stretched out Mike Winchester. Hit a beautiful punt up into the air. But Gabriel De La Garza, the sophomore linebacker, ran all over it.
If it's roughing, it's 15 yards and a first down. If it's running into, it's 5 yards, and it's not a first down. Let's see what he calls. No, it's 15 yards. There it is, right there. You have to give the kicker protection. He is vulnerable to injury when he has his foot up in the air. He has the right to kick the ball, and then reasonable time.
Roughing the kicker 15 yards.
Reasonable time to get himself back. You can see he was knocked down before he had the reasonable amount of time.
And the junior from Marietta, that's all right. I had a good punt, but I can do it again. He goes off. Grinning, leaving his team first down, just short of the SMU 35, and Oklahoma leading SMU 14-7 with 10.5 minutes to play in the first half. And Jamel Holloway coming down on the option. Keeps it. And turns to about the 28.
There's nothing prettier to me than seeing the triple option work to perfection. The quarterback, Holloway, Keith, just reads his outside, coming to trying to make yards. And of course, 44, linebacker on the right side. Now, he's got to come all the way across. That's Case, the linebacker. He dodges the blocker there of the halfback. The fullback comes over, makes the play.
Second down, 3. Straight up the middle. Lydell Carr, and a first down for Oklahoma at the SMU 25.
Oklahoma has that momentum, Keith. They're just moving that offensive line, charging, controlling that 11 inches there, making room for the backs to run.
I thought it was supposed to be a foot.
13 inches, I think. With the length of the ball, or whatever.
From the 25 of SMU, first down Sooners. Holloway rides it off to Lydell Carr, and Carr takes a ride down to the 10-yard line. 11, make it the 11.
Oklahoma, virtually every down, calls 2 plays. It's either or. On this particular play, the SMU defense had gone to the wide side of the field, so they ran the option into the boundary. No one took care of the fullback, and therefore the quarterback hands the ball to him. Now, Case, the linebacker, 44, just overruns. He's got the fullback. He's on an island all by himself. If he doesn't make the play, gone.
Feet slid out from under him. Holloway is caught this time, as they did get some penetration. I think it was Jerry Ball fighting his way over the center and brought him down for a loss.
Ball has 6 tackles for loss, 6 sacks, and 7 times he's tackled the ball carrier for a loss. And that's a perfect illustration of his quickness. He's only 6 feet tall, but he weighs well over 200. I think right now they list him at about 270, Keith. He's gained some weight during the season.
Loss is back to the 14, loss of 3. Second down and 14. Second down and 13. Timeout, Oklahoma. So the Sooners didn't quite have what they wanted here, and timeout to talk it over.
It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Hey, son, looks like your friend's got radio-controlled toys for Christmas, too. Billy, need some help with your 4x4 off-roader?
No thanks, Mr. Miller.
Know how to work the pincers on your battle claw, Ernie?
Sure do.
How about your robot, Tim?
Under control, sir. Hey, Dad, can you help me with my Porsche?
Thought you might need me, son.
Radio-controlled toys from $11.95 to $59.95, only at Radio Shack.
The game that counts, the pressure mounts, the kickoff's almost here. I know all the way. Now you're talking football. Now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here.
fire brewed for smooth, consistent taste.
Now you're talking Stroh's. Now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times. And Stroh's is spoken here.
The finest fighting talent in the country slug it out for national titles. The U.S. Amateur Boxing Championships, live on ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday.
Second down and 13 for the Oklahoma Sooners. The ball at the SMU 14. So far in the ball game, we've run the ball 51 times and had one pass. It was complete by Oklahoma.
Unbalanced line, Keith, to the wide side of the field.
Holloway sends it that way, rides it to Lydell Carr as fullback, and Lydell, spinning around twice, is brought down by T.D. Briggs for a 3-yard pickup at the original line of scrimmage. So now they need a little deception here.
Here's the first downs. SMU 6 on that first drive. Oklahoma's been able to keep possession since then. But Keith, Oklahoma goes to the unbalanced line to gain an extra blocker, plus to forcing SMU to change their defense. If they don't, they have them outnumbered, outflanked, and they can score very easily.
Third down and 10. Holloway. And going to the corner, Collins. Did he get in? Yep. He hit the outside of that marker, though, but still he got the touchdown call.
This is the play that the Oklahoma staff added this week, especially for SMU, because of the defense strategy of SMU. Patrick Collins, number 33, showed his speed. One thing these wishbone halfbacks have is speed at Oklahoma. Once they get turned down corner, watch out.
We got a player that disappeared into the crowd over there and amongst the band, and we've got a timeout for him.
Off-road racing, a tough test for a tough truck. For over 15 years, Nissan-built trucks have been racing on these sanctioned survival courses and winning, and winning, and winning.
We race so you can win, because the same high-tech tough that helped Nissan finish first off the road helps your Nissan last on the street.
The technology is advanced. The truck is tough. The name is Nissan.
Some have it, some don't. Afrin doesn't have it. Dristan doesn't have it. Only Sinex has it for stuffy noses.
Ooh.
That quick feeling of relief from instantly penetrating Vicks vapors, plus a powerful decongestant that opens nasal passages so you breathe freely.
Ah, complete relief.
For hours and hours, Sinex has it for instant and complete relief in regular and 12-hour extra strength.
From Vicks, of course.
Golfing's top men and women money winners compete together in a unique event. Live coverage of the Mixed Team Golf Championship continues tomorrow on ABC Sports.
Well, the Sooners are cruising right now with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. OU possessions, they've driven to the one and fumbled, but then have come right back for 3 successive touchdowns by Tillman, Holloway, and Collins. And now we're waiting for Tim Lasher's extra point try to make it a 21-7 ball game. Whereas SMU took the opening possession and drove 82 yards in 11 plays. And I believe that's an SMU player hurt over there. Tim Brandt's right there in the blue coat. Timmy?
Keith, they're working on Frankie Thomas, the free safety. He's getting up now. He had severe pain all the way up and down his hamstring. At first, they thought it was his knee. They're going to take him to the other side now, and they're going to try to examine it further. But he has pain all the way up his thigh, in the back, rather, the hamstring area, and all the way down the back of his calf area, and in the knee area as well. He got hit from that side, and he went down in a lot of pain. Still is in a lot of pain, Keith, but it's Frankie Thomas, the safety.
Keith, that would really hurt SMU. Their starting left halfback, Roderick Jones, is not playing today because of an ankle sprain. And then Frankie, their safety man, is one of the best players that they have on the defensive side of the ball. Here's the drive, but let's look at the touchdown. It's a counter play. The quarterback reverses out and fakes to the left halfback up the middle. Then he options down the line. And here's where Collins shows his speed. He gets a fine block from Jackson, the tight end, A good block from the weak side coming down. Now here's the block that Jackson makes right here. He's got to delay his block and try to hold the man up and block him out so that the ball carrier gets there. He can, and he can use his hands today. That's different than the old days. He puts his hand on him, pushes him to the outside, just enough for Collins to go in for the touchdown.
Now we're ready for the extra point try. Here's Frankie on his way back to his bench.
Keith, SMU could still be in this ball game. You don't make mistakes against Oklahoma. Fumble, set up a touchdown. Roughing the kicker, set up the third touchdown.
Sonny Brown handles a snap, and Lasher knocks it up and through. At 8.5 minutes to go in the first half. And it's now the Oklahoma Sooners 21 and SMU 7.
SMU on their last possession had a chance, but they had a busted play in the backfield, and that stopped them from making the first down.
Let's go to Jim.
All right, Keith, and let's take a look at 3 more college basketball scores. Michigan today beat Florida Southern 91-67. Tarpley with 19 points for the Wolverines. Kansas beat North Carolina State 71-56. Kellogg with 23 for the Jayhawks. Washburn had 22 for State, which has lost 3 times now in early season. And Louisville bounced back from 2 defeats in the Big Apple NIT, beating Purdue, a team that #1 ranked North Carolina had some difficulty with, 77-58. Back to you, Keith.
Thank you, Jim. What a pretty day in Heartland. It was down in the 20s over last weekend, and snow and sleet started warming up Wednesday, and just gorgeous day.
Steve, I don't see a cloud in the sky. Beautiful fall day, except we're nearly in winter, aren't we?
Yeah. My body tells me. Go do your hums, Tim. I think you got it in the second half. Here's the short hanging kickoff by Lasher. Taken up by Darrell Terrell, the running back, up around the 18-yard line, and he comes back to about the 25, maybe the 26. SMU field position has not been anything to write home about. They're 18, they're 1, twice on the 20, and now the 26.
The reason, I guess, that you get field position by moving the ball on the ground and stopping the other team. They haven't done either since that first possession. SMU hasn't. Look at the time of possession. You can see how one side is getting.
Atkins is the tailback. King pitches it to him. Oklahoma intercepts it. Oh, my goodness. If Derek White doesn't fall down, he walks into the end zone with a touchdown.
Keith, I believe they claimed that his knee was down or that he caught the ball on the bounce. Penetration on the option play. Penetration on the option play. Cannot have it. Coming to the lower part of your screen, fake to the fullback. And then the tackle, the quarterback delayed and picked the ball blindly out to the tailback, Picard, and I wasn't watching. Did he hit the ground?
Atkins. Yeah,
yes, he hit the ground. Okay. Atkins was the tailback. Right. He wasn't even looking.
And the Sooners are camped. First down at the 24 of SMU. Eric Mitchell is in at quarterback, has the ball around the corner. He goes, and he's just short. They put him out at inside the 4. Eric Mitchell, 6'1", 195, a freshman from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
The triple option, he fakes the ball to the fullback. Nothing there. Fullback blocks his man. Now Mitchell sprints to the corner. The tight end is making the key block right there. He goes outside the tight end block. The cornerback is chasing the halfback. The safety man misses the tackle, and Mitchell goes down to the 4-yard line.
First and goal for the Sooners. Mitchell coming along with it. Still got it. Fumbled it. Oklahoma's got it. And they'll put it down at the 26-yard line. So Derek Reed of SMU had the ball bouncing around in front of him. And finally he was able to get it. Oklahoma had it. Then they didn't. And then finally Reed covers it.
Mitchell running the option play. Nothing there. Penetration right there. Forced Mitchell back. Now, Eric is very talented and likes to get away and reverse his field. So he takes off to the opposite side and fumbles the ball. You cannot advance the ball in college unless you catch the fumble in the air. It hit the ground, ball is brought back.
And the Ponies have it first down at their own 26, where they were just a moment ago. And King gives it to Reggie Dupard. And Dupard will have a yard on that carry.
In the first drive, Oklahoma did not adjust to the formation, meaning setting the flanker and tight end into the boundary. This series they have. Casillas, number 92, Lombardi Trophy winner, great record. Watch him break through the line of scrimmage right there on Heights in the center, reaches out, barely grabs the leg of Dupard, preventing and denying him a nice gain.
He got close to 2 yards on the carry. Second down, call it 8, with 7:20 to go in the first half. And timeout now is charged to SMU. So Don King comes over to the sidelines to have a talk with the coaching staff. 7:22 to go in the first half.
Out on the town, flying around, pizzas disappear. Now you're talking Friday night. Now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here.
Stroh Light, smooth, refreshing, less filling.
Now you're talking Stroh's. Now you're talking beer. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here.
What do you do when you already build one of the best production sports cars in the world? If you're Nissan, you build it even better. You widen the track, reduce air turbulence, dramatically improve its already legendary handling and performance. No wonder Motor Trend magazine called this new 300ZX the best all-around Z car ever built. When you're talking performance, the name is Nissan.
We mentioned earlier, Reggie Dupard has gone over 1,000 yards last 3 seasons. His coach, Bobby Collins, says this about him.
He's as good as there is in the country. He's as good as there is playing. He's one of the best that's ever played college football. His records prove that.
To the point?
That's right to the point. In the Southwest Conference, opposing coaches would echo those remarks.
Second down and 8 now for SMU. King rolls, throws, no good. Well, shoot, he only had about 3 yards on the pass as it was. The mixed team golf championship, 3rd round results. Look at that, brother and sister sitting up there on top. -15. McCumber Johnson, Curtis Strange, Nancy Lopez. And we'll have the final tomorrow at the Broadmoor Country Club in Largo, Florida.
You're going to be in bed tomorrow, Chief.
You got that right. 3rd down and 8. And they're just a little late in getting that play underway. A step sooner, and they would have been out the back door and had a big one. But it's hard to be a step sooner against the Sooners.
Fake pass and run on long yardage. When you've got a back like Dupard, you give it to it. Chief was right. The hole was there. But Johnson, number 80, comes back in and makes the play very quickly.
Dodge Carter's punt. Sonny Brown. And Sonny finally winds up at about the 22. 52-yard punt by Dodge Carter. So he's knocked one 40, 50, and now 52.
Keith, we didn't think we'd ever see the punting of the likes of the Alabama-Auburn game last week.
Well, that was something, wasn't it?
Colbert of Auburn and Moore of Alabama put on a real show. How to punt football.
That was a great football game.
It was a sensational football game.
Here's Tim Brandt.
All right, Keith, Derek Shepard is back on the field now. They have taken x-rays of his left leg. They were fearing the worst, that it could be a break in his bone, his tibia, but instead it is just a bruise. He can put pressure on it. He's wrapped it. He's going to come back. He's even going to try to play.
All right. That's good news. First down on the 22. And this is Anthony Stafford. 3 yards.
In anytime, Keith, that Oklahoma doesn't run the wishbone, the triple option, Barry Switzer was telling me yesterday it was a waste down. With Holloway, he figures he ought to be running it every down.
See what? Jamel Holloway back in there on this series as Eric Mitchell played the last series and took him in for a touchdown. And carrying here is Lydell Carr. And Carr gets the ball up to about the 28.
SMU are having a difficult time, like everybody else is trying to defend the wishbone from time to time, in stopping first the fullback and then the triple option. They haven't been effective with either the fullback or the quarterback. Unbalanced again to the field. SMU has not moved over.
Well, they're not doing it well. This time they give it to Keith Jackson on the tight end reverse. And you know that SMU had looked at it after the Nebraska game, and they jumped all over it.
They played it just like they did on the fake in the round, Keith.
Yeah.
They had everybody, and I don't blame them. That's only, of course, the fullback busted the play. He tipped it off. Fullback went to the wrong side, and he tipped off the play a little bit, and SMU had great pursuit in the round. Forcing the punt. Good series for SMU.
Mike Winchester should get a pretty good roll. Those old tail draggers do all right on this artificial turf, don't they?
You've got to catch him, Keith. You've got to catch him.
51-yard punt.
Keith, here are our games coming up in the NFL on Sunday night. We've got Pittsburgh and San Diego, and Pittsburgh's still in the hunt for the division championship. It'll be a big ball game for them, and it seems to me like the Dan Foucher's having a great year. But here's the big one. L.A. Rams versus San Francisco 49ers, and the 49ers can win. They'll be tied, L.A., for the division leadership.
They will tie them mathematically, but they will hold 2 wins over them, too, because they beat them earlier at Anaheim.
And that's the deciding factor for the playoffs.
King wants to go big with it. Got a man wide open. And for some reason, Albert Reese, the tight end, doesn't keep his feet. He kind of buckled down to his knees. If he'd stayed on his feet, he'd still be running.
The reason, Keith, is he knew he was so wide open. The safety men for Oklahoma had split. And Reese is so wide open, he says, please let me catch it. Please. And it was low, too, see? So he had to kind of really hold on the ball. Let's see what Casillas does, because right there on the quarterback, a fake of the running play. Now, Tony releases. Uh-oh. Right in the head.
A little bit too much authority, perhaps.
Yep.
Didn't get a flag on it. Jeff Atkins. Atkins, who is a junior. Quick starter, long stride. He gets off the ball in a big hurry.
Atkins was one of the most highly recruited players in Texas and chose SMU and has had some fine seasons. Last year, he rushed for over nearly 900 yards as the alternate tailback.
Second down and 5. Atkins isn't going anywhere with Brian Bosworth greeting him as he made his cutback.
Most of the yardage that SMU made in that first drive was on the option play where they faked up the middle and held Bosworth. But on this slow developing play, boy, did Bosworth just shuck that lineman, the offensive guard pulling around, and made the play. Boy, he's big. 240 pounds, can run, and big enough to whip the offensive blockers also.
Reggie Dupard back in at I-back now for SMU. And King to throw. Well, he had his man, number 14, came open for him, Jeffrey Jacobs, but he didn't deliver it to him, and his second look, he winds up looking straight at Tony Casillas and Troy Johnson.
Well, he'd just been hit earlier by Casillas, so he's a little bit conscious of him. He couldn't help but be. There's the effort of the Lombardi Trophy winner right there. Johnson, one side, Casillas on the other, hitting him.
And the Mustangs have to punt, and not a particularly good kick as it angles sharply out of bounds. And only 29 yards on the punt. So we've got 2 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the first half with the Oklahoma Sooners leading SMU 21-7. We'll talk with Coach Joe Paterno, see the Oklahoma band during our potential halftime report. And Jimmy will have the scores. Last time we saw Army-Navy was 7-7. And we're down into the second round of the playoffs, too, in 1A, 1AA, and divisions 2 and 3. First down from the 28. Holloway stays at quarterback, gives to Collins, and Collins to the 31.
Just the fake pass and run, something that Oklahoma has added to their offense, and this being the 2-minute offense, run the fake pass and run and see how much pass rush you're going to get before you start throwing the ball. Now they're in the passing formation, Oklahoma.
Take it to Tillman, pulls it down, and Holloway is still working with it. If they get 2 blocks, he'll score, but they don't get him. He's out to midfield, and the first down for the Sooners. T.D. Briggs, linebacker, brought him down.
Keith, it's been a long time since a quarterback in America has rushed for over 1,000 yards. My record right here, 846 yards for Holloway coming into this ball game on 138 tries. So if he goes for 156, he's going to pass the 1,000 mark, and only starting 5 games.
Well, he's got 102 right now on 14 carries.
He's going to pass it. I meant pass the 1,000 yards. Yeah.
All right.
That was the fake pass and run. Ball number 34. All Southwest Conference last year, All Southwest Conference this year. Quick, strong, combines all the attributes you look for in a nose guard. Right there.
Timeout, 1:23 to go, first half. Sooners controlling right now, 21-7 over SMU.
The human hand. It's not flat, it's curved. And now finally, there's a glove built around it. Finally, from Wells Lamont, Grips. The only all-purpose leather glove with a patented pre-curved design for a comfortable grip that just won't give. Grips from Wells Lamont. Look for Wells Lamont gloves at the sign of the mule.
Introducing a new, longer-lasting Energizer.
The new Energizer AA battery. It's supercharged.
Now, 48 more flash pictures than before.
It's supercharged.
No battery in the world outlasts it.
Energizer Halogen. A light so bright, no ordinary light can match it. It outshines ordinary flashlights by up to 300%, and it's Energizer Rugged. Up to 300% brighter from Energizer.
The Gator Bowl, December 30th. Florida State tangles with Thurman Thomas and Oklahoma State. The Sugar Bowl, January 1st. Miami with hopes of a national championship meets Tennessee, all on ABC Sports.
1:23. When SMU took that opening kickoff and drove it down the far side of the field, they seldom wandered beyond the hash mark, spending most of the time on that side to drive it in. It looked like it might be a rough day for the Sooners. Oklahoma's ship has been righted here, and Jamel Holloway, trying to connect with Keith Jackson, has it fall away with 1:18 to play in the first half. You make a mistake against the Sooners, and the philosophy of the whole organization is make you pay, and they have made SMU pay.
And the Oklahoma defense, being either first or second in most of the defensive categories nationally, is having a defense like that, Keith, is like a family having more money in the bank they can spend in a lifetime. That's the way the coach feels about a defense like that.
3rd down and 7. Holloway looks for Shepard. Nope, not Shepard. It's Lee Morris, and a penalty flag.
A little pass interference, Keith. Less than 15 yards, so it'll be first down at the spot. Maybe it's not pass. Yeah. Holding. Well, holding it, if it's not pass defense, it'd be holding, which would be a 5 or 10 yard penalty. Let's see how he calls it. So he's got to go back to the line of scrimmage and penalize. Here it is, right? Number 24, Reed, who's playing for the injured. I don't see how he calls that holding. There's no holding there that I see.
Well, maybe it was somewhere else.
No, that's they dropped the flag right at that spot.
His feet. Yeah, I saw that.
We have holding on the defense. That's a 10-yard penalty, makes it a first down.
Huh.
To me, that's a bad call.
First down. 1:10 to go. Holloway running and running and running out of time as they finally throw him down at the 40-yard line. Jerry Ball, number 34.
Jerry Ball can run. That's a perfect illustration. You've got a defensive line who has the strength, defensive lineman who has the strength, but has the speed of a back. Now, he rushed for over 1,000 yards in Beaumont High School play. Right there. Just keep fighting and pushing away, using his hands. Now, watch him run after Jamel Holloway. Right there, number 34. Brings him to the ground.
Well, look at this. You know, people used to talk about all the coaches Bear had out there in the business. Well, the redhead from Decatur hasn't done too bad, has he? Look at that.
Listen, these guys can coach. When you look at Hayden Fry and Johnny Majors and Jimmy Johnson instead of Bobby Johnson, obviously, and Jackie Sherrill and Barry Switzer, boy, they not only can coach, they've got some great schools to work with. Tradition. We're very proud of them in Arkansas, Keith. Very proud. Watching with their teams play with great interest.
Second down now and about 14 yards for the Oklahoma Sooners. Sooners have no more timeouts remaining at 1:02 to go in the first half. Holloway zipped it. Morris caught it.
Little 2-minute offense for a wishbone team. Jim Donnan, the former quarterback, Keith, from North Carolina, coached at many places, including Missouri, came here, just done a great job with this Oklahoma offense.
Third down and 3. Sideline too high. Whoa. Go back to the huddle and say to the quarterback, listen, partner, don't hang me out there like the old long drawers in a March wind. I can get killed.
Well, we'll go for the field goal, I guess. Fourth down. Lasher has kicked 11 in a row for Oklahoma.
Watch this now. Watch it. He's defenseless. See, he's up there, hung out, waiting. Now watch Mark Vincent come by and give him a shot. Oh, you used to hate that. 46-yard field goal try. The long for Tim Lasher this season has been a 38-yarder, and they disdain the field goal. They're going to go.
They're going
in down and 3.
They're going into the wind, Keith.
And SMU now decides
they had to call timeout, Keith, because they had different people in the ball game. They didn't have their defense in the ball game. They had the people who were going to block the field goal attempt. So Oklahoma had them where they wanted them without a defensive team. Ken Hatfield pulled that on Baylor, lined up in punt formation, sent a team out, but it was a second offensive team, and then ran the wishbone for a first down, 18 yards against Baylor this season.
You better have yourself organized, otherwise you're going to get strung out, though, and wasted.
That's right. Now they're going to try the field goal. Well, I think they are.
I don't think there's that much wind down there, is it?
No, it's not that much wind. It was early in the day. It was about 10, 15 miles an hour, but it seems to me it's the old saying, it calms down after 4 o'clock. That's what Bobby Dodd used to tell me, Frank. If you can just wait and not have the wind in the fourth quarter after 4 o'clock, there's no wind. And it has decreased.
Lasher, as I said a moment ago, 38 yards the long of the year for him. He's 0 for 3. Actually 0 for 4 beyond 40.
He has a quarterly wind coming more from the west than it is from the south. As we look at the big flag up there, it's blowing pretty good right now, but that's above the stadium. And I think the end zone seats are blocking out the wind, most of the wind.
Tim Lasher is set for the field goal try.
Sonny Brown will hold it. leg on it. But slides right. Stayed right on him, never did hook back in. He had plenty of leg. And at 34 seconds to go in the first half, the Sooners are turned away.
The snap was a little bit low, and Brown, number 8, was trying to kick. See, it kind of hits the ground. Now he's got to pick it up and put it on the tee, and that it can be a little bit confusing. Let's see if Lashes slows down a little bit. No, he came in with the same rhythm, but maybe the ball wasn't put on the tee properly.
So with 34 seconds to go, SMU hands the ball off to Reggie Dupard, and apparently will be satisfied to go to the clubhouse in their current posture because King did not come out throwing. That's what we have at halftime for you. And Tim Brandt will be joining you at halftime, and we'll do the second half of the ball game for you because this old Aiken body is heading west.
Take care of yourself, Pete. Get well.
King down the middle, intercepted. Into the arms of an Oklahoma Sooner, number 29, Ricky Dixon, who's coming off knee surgery. And Ricky runs out of bounds as time expires. And at halftime, here in Norman, the Sooners 21 and SMU 7. Here's Tim Brandt.
All right, Barry's finished strong, a lot of turnovers. You looked a little bit flat when they started the game, though.
Well, they're a good offensive football team. You know, they took the option. We have no support out of it. Frank knows in the booth what I'm talking about. Our secondary's got to support the option, and they've done a great job of riding the fullback and getting the ball pitched on the corner. They're a good football team. Of course, we're a good offensive football team. We've taken care of advantages. First and goal at the 4.
Tell me about the adjustment now. It looked like the defensive ends got more active. You did get the support on the corners.
We've changed to support the option game. We're playing a little bit different. We're going to talk about the half. Maybe we can do a better job the second half.
I want to ask you defensively now how you approach the second half. They have not been a great come-from-behind team. They don't throw them.
Let's hope that holds true today.
All right, Barry. Good luck the second half. So that's the situation down here. The Sooners lead it 21-7. And I'm coming upstairs and join you, Keith.
CFA College Football is brought to you by Stroh's and Stroh Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by Radio Shack, your Christmas electronics store. We'll be back with our halftime activities after this commercial message and a word from our local station.
I've got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it.
I've got a headache this big, and it's got Excedrin written all over it.
Excedrin, the big headache medicine. More medicine than any regular strength pain reliever. The most medicine you can buy without a prescription. Nothing is stronger.
I had a headache this big, but I took Excedrin, and it's gone.
Excedrin, from Bristol Myers. Excedrin, the headache medicine.
Saturday, the fall guys get a date with Elvira. Did you hear something? Awakening all the creatures of the night.
You're not afraid of a few ghosts, are you?
The fall guy. Then.
How many lives do you think they have left, Kate?
At least one more.
She shouldn't tempt Lady Luck. She might lose.
The needle.
That dog has turned her into a crazed killer.
Katie!
Lady Blue. All starting at 8/7 Central.
Tonight.
Trucks, and more trucks. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers have trucks all over their lots and more coming. So from now until December 10th, they're wheeling and dealing on over 2,000 trucks, 2- and 4-wheel drive. Dealing on S10 pickups, base price from $59.90. Dealing on full-size pickups from $77.64. Wheelin' dealing days on Chevy trucks and Blazers now through December 10th. See your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, including Walt Lazar, George Maddock, and Ed Rinke Chevrolet.
At Delta, we could talk about our airplanes, some of the best maintained, most modern birds in the sky, or our schedules, over 1,500 flights a day worldwide, or our flight centers, the airports of the future. But none of that is as important as people. And when it comes to the Delta professionals, the people who make Delta as great as it is, well, one smile is worth 1,000 words. Delta gets you there.
Makeover tips from Jeffrey Bruce, 9 a.m. live.
The Prudential Halftime Report. is being sponsored by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and financial services. The Prudential, the Rock. It's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
We are at halftime in Norman, Oklahoma. Oklahoma on top of SMU after falling behind early 7-0. The Sooners have come back to lead it 21-7. Hello again, I'm Jim Lampley. This week speaking to you from here in Norman rather than as normally in the studio in New York. Elsewhere in college football right now in Philadelphia, Army and Navy are tied up at 7-7 in the fourth quarter. A missed touchdown pass for Navy, a Clarence Jones touchdown run for Army. This, of course, is the final college football appearance for the great Navy running back Napoleon McCallum. He ran 23 times for 118 yards in the first half, and before we see him play football again, if we do, 5 years will have passed by. Today in a Division III playoff game, Augustana of Illinois defeated Central of Iowa 14-7. The significance being that that is Augustana's 36th win in a row, which now gives them possession of the third longest winning streak of the last 50 years in college football, the longest being Oklahoma's 47 straight. Missouri Valley won 41 in a row. Toledo won 35 in a row. Augustana snapped the tie with them today, moving up to 36 in a row. When we come back, we'll have a conversation with Penn State coach Joe Paterno.
Choosing a life insurance policy can make anyone feel helpless. You're at the mercy of strangers. Your hands are tied. You feel pressured. But help is never too far away. With Prudential, your agent has the time to talk to you, listen to you, and work with you until you have a piece of the rock you're comfortable with. No wonder more people choose Prudential for life insurance than any other company. You'll feel right by the rock. Prudential Life Insurance.
Some investors who thought oil was the only answer came up dry. They've seen that tying up all their money in banks isn't always in their best interest. And that following the takeover fad of the moment can lead to slim pickings. More and more, the ambitious investor is following Prudential Bates, whose rock-solid investment strategy is leading the way to the future. Prudential Bates Securities. Follow a leader.
And old Skeets whooped that hawk and made him fly him back over and put him back in that yard.
For college football, former Mississippi State lineman Jerry Clower.
When I played football at Mississippi State, little did I know I'd go from this uniform to this uniform. But thanks mainly to my football scholarship, I got an education that'll be valuable to me all of my life.
College football. It's doing a lot of good.
The preceding message has been provided by the College Football Association.
SMU, of course, if the Sooners win here today, they will be in position perhaps to be ranked number 2 when they play Penn State in the Orange Bowl on New Year's night. Undefeated and number 1 ranked Penn State. Those are accomplishments which would have been thought impossible by most before the season. But nevertheless, the Nittany Lions, though struggling early in the season, have made it through. And last week, I spoke to Joe Paterno about the sacrifices this team had to make to be so good.
If a bunch of kids want to get together and they want to say, hey, we're going to go for a national championship, they have got to understand that there are probably 50 squads in the country that have as much material. You know, parity and all those other words that the media likes to use. They're all out there, and it's true. There are probably 50 squads every year could win a national championship if the chemistry's right, a couple of luck early, and what have you. And they have to understand that it's not going to be an easy road. Now, you know, I don't care if they want it or they don't want it, to be very frank with you. But if they say to me, I want it, then I think my obligation is to do everything I can to help them get it. I mean, you know, Rip Engel used to say, it's not my football team, it's their football team. I'm getting paid to coach these kids to be the best they want to be. And it's really not my football team. You know, everybody likes to say Joe Paterno's 1972. It isn't. It's their football team. And if they want to be really good, they want me to help them. And I've tried to keep that in perspective. Sometimes I wonder if I do, but I try to.
And of the players, you demanded a greater commitment in terms of their own personal time to football.
We're not sacrificing the academics. We really are not. We're working. I told them, no way would I go there, because that's too big a price to pay. But we are, I think, sacrificing some things socially and culturally. How much, I don't know. But we never have a kid any longer who would be able to spend enough time to be a vice president of student government.
Or be a concert pianist like Mike Reed.
Or, well, he might be a musician, but he might not be able to make public appearances. He might not be able to appear if the university puts on a student production of Guys and Dolls tomorrow. I don't know whether we have anybody would have that kind of time to be able to give to that thing. So, I mean, that's the area I think we really have started to eliminate from their college experience. And I'm not, that's a tough, I'm not so sure that's right.
It's interesting. 3 years ago when you took your team to the Sugar Bowl, everyone focused on the fact that you personally had not had a national championship team and thought of that as a big hurdle for you. But it seems to me that in light of all of the changes you made this year, maybe this particular hurdle in the Orange Bowl is more important.
I didn't care whether we won a national championship in '82. I didn't think it was necessary for me to prove anything. We had teams I felt were the best in the country. And I feel the same way now. I think that there's too many little things that can happen in a football game that you really don't have any control over. And to think that because somebody makes a tackle on the 6-inch line, as was happened in 1978, all right, that means that you've been a failure is kind of ludicrous. And I'm going to feel the same way about this one.
Will you say that to your players before this game?
Oh, absolutely. Tell them, hey, listen, this is a great opportunity, a lot of fun. Go out and do your best. And when we come off it, we still had a great year.
It's worth noting that each year the College Football Association awards an academic achievement recognition to the school with the best graduation rate in its football program. This year's winner, the University of Virginia, with a 92% graduation rate, but only 2 other schools had rates above 75%. They were Notre Dame University and Penn State. Right now we're going to join in progress the performance of the Pride of Oklahoma Marching Band on the field here under the direction of Gene P. Thrailkill, Director of Bands. We will be back for more halftime from Norman, Oklahoma, right after these messages. 2 of this season's most surprising teams meet in New Orleans on New Year's night, where the Miami Hurricanes will try to earn a 2nd national championship in 3 years. Kane's explosive offense is ignited by the spectacular talents of junior quarterback Vinny Testaverde. In his first season as successor to Bernie Kosar, Testaverde threw 5 touchdown passes in the 70- and 80-yard range, basking in the luxury of the nation's most imposing core of receivers. Jimmy Johnson's team can win on the ground, too, with bruising back Alonzo Highsmith bowling over defenders. The coach is campaigning for a title.
I think as far as what I've seen on television, as far as what I have seen on the field, the way our team has performed, I think if we were to be successful against Tennessee, and I think it's going to be a heck of a ball game. I think it's going to be a very difficult ball game for our football team. But if we were to be successful against Tennessee, I think that we would be deserving of a national championship.
Tennessee's bowl hopes were thought to have vanished in mid-season when quarterback Tony Robinson ran afoul of Alabama's Cornelius Bennett and was lost for the last 7 games. But backup quarterback Darrell Dickey and standout wide receiver Tim McGee helped hold the offense together. And 9 years after his triumphant march home from a national championship season at Pittsburgh, Johnny Majors prepared for his first Tennessee trip to the Sugar Bowl.
After we lost our outstanding quarterback, Tony Robinson, in the Alabama game, I thought our chances to go to the Sugar Bowl were certainly slim. But we had an unusual team. It grew a lot defensively. They stuck together, and Darrell Dickey stepped in as a starting quarterback after Robinson's injury, and he did a marvelous job. And I've never had a team more resourceful, more opportunistic, that made more things happen by causing mistakes on the opponent's part and not making many and being very stingy on our part.
Miami and Tennessee, Sugar Bowl on ABC, New Year's night.
Tomorrow in a Sunday night special, the Pittsburgh Steelers tangle with San Diego. And Monday night, the Rams and 49ers battle for first place, all on ABC Sports.
Some investors have learned it's hard to make money these days just following the herd. They've seen that old-fashioned techniques don't always seem to work anymore. And that listening to yesterday's ideas isn't enough in today's financial markets. More and more, the ambitious investor is following a firm with rock-solid resources that's leading the way to the future. Prudential Bache Securities. Follow a leader.
The rock we trust with our lives is on the move. The Prudential is now bigger than any real estate investor, bigger than the biggest stockbroker. Today, it's big enough for almost every financial need, from insurance to stocks and bonds and everything in between. The Rock, the Prudential. It's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
Takes, looks, rolls, throws, deflected away! Deflected away! Butler kicked a long one, a long one. Oh my God! Oh my God! Anderson to 20, Anderson to 5. Touchdown, Neil Anderson, and the Florida Gators have taken the lead. Now scrambles away from one hit. Looks, uncorks a deep one for the end zone. Phelan is down there. Oh, he got it! Did he get it? He got it!
College football, the All-American game.
The preceding message has been provided by the College Football Association.
Halftime in Norman, Oklahoma, the Sooners leading the Mustangs of SMU 21-7 in a half which began as though it might be an incipient upset, as SMU came out very strong and looked good early. Jim Lampley again, along with Doug Flutie. And since that time, Oklahoma has taken over the game, and in fact, had it not been for a couple of aborted drives, the score could have been longer than it is. We're going to take a look right now at the highlights. And Doug, SMU took the opening kickoff and went 82 yards all the way down the field on option plays, resulting in this Dupard touchdown run. They looked excellent in that drive.
They really did. They moved the ball extremely well, stayed within down and distance so they could run the option without having to put the ball up too often. They stayed on the ground for the entire drive and looked impressive.
Oklahoma came back to the shadow of the goal line, but a Holloway fumble gave it away. Then the Sooners scored to tie it at 7-7, and you're looking now at a diagram of the play that would make it 14-7 Oklahoma. The line to watch is the one belonging to the quarterback there, Jamel Holloway, who took it up inside and then showed off his whirling dervish style to go 38 yards for the touchdown. What a talent Holloway is.
He really is. Amazing athletic ability. Here they faked the reverse that was so successful previous weeks, and Holloway uses his speed to get outside, makes one nice cut here to get back across the green, and then it's just pure athletic ability just running into the end zone.
And you saw two excellent blocks in front of him on the corner, as Holloway, though he was near traffic, was in effect untouched on the way to the 38-yard TD. It was 14-7 Oklahoma. SMU began to make errors which would take them out of the game at that point. Here, for instance, is the roughing the kicker penalty, which kept an Oklahoma drive alive and ultimately resulted in a touchdown run. Always a very tough judgment for the defender when to take off.
It really is. You have to judge whether or not you're going to reach the ball and go at it. There he had a bad angle, because whether he was going to get the ball or not, he was going to hit the kicker. He was coming straight in at him instead of having a slight angle to cut across and miss the kicker.
The Sooners took it from there to a point where Patrick Collins scored from 11 yards out. This Collins TD would make it 21-7 Oklahoma, which is where it stands right now. One of the bevy of young backs from Oklahoma who have so much promise for the future. Collins there with the 11-yard touchdown. It's 21-7 Oklahoma. And the wishbone offense is operating well. We got to look at Eric Mitchell and his talent in addition to Holloway's talents, and there'll be more to come right after these messages.
The Prudential Halftime Report was brought to you by the Prudential, offering a full range of insurance and financial services. The Prudential, the Rock. It's strong, it's on the move, it's bigger than life.
This commercial is recorded in stereo. Does your TV have what it takes to hear it? Now Zenith introduces the Smart Sets with the television stereo sound Zenith invented, built in. So all you have to do to hear this in stereo is this. Zenith Advanced System 3, 19 models with built-in stereo. The Smart Sets, smarter than ever.
You might think a computer that doesn't cost a lot doesn't do a lot. But look at the IBM PC Junior. It's low-priced, but runs over 1,000 of the best programs written for the IBM PC. Programs for the classroom and powerful programs for business. And with PC Junior's extra memory attachment, it can run over 1,000 more programs. PC Junior from IBM. Turn a little money into a lot of computer.
Memories of the smiles we left behind, smiles we gave to one another.
Why trust moments like these to anything other than Kodak videotape? It captures the sights and sounds of every moment with color that's beautifully accurate, unmistakably Kodak.
For the way we were.
When the moment means more, trust it to Kodak videotape.
CFA College Football is brought to you by Chevrolet, who invites you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86. And by Mr. Goodwrench. Keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts.
We are moments away from the start of the second half, and normally at this point, our Tim Brandt would be conducting an interview on the sideline with Southern Methodist University coach Bobby Collins. But, as we've alluded to a couple of times during this telecast, Keith Jackson has a bad case of the flu, has been suffering for several days, and after making a valiant effort to do his normal, wonderful job in the first half, our Keith has departed this premises and hopefully is going to be on a plane back to his home in Los Angeles pretty soon. So, departing from his normal frontier on the sidelines and moving into the relatively comfortable confines of the booth, Tim Brandt now goes to work with Frank Broyles. Take it away, Tim.
All right, Lamps, KJ was playing hurt. He certainly solidified the quality of the telecast. Now he hands it over to the upstart. Uncle Frank's still here, and we're ready to go in the second half.
Get after it, Tim.
Randy Brownlee will kick off for SMU. It's Pat Collins and Leon Perry. Deep for Oklahoma. And this one will sail through, and they'll bring it out and set it up at the 20. Defensively, these will be the players you'll see. Terrence Mann, 92. Jerry Bell, the nose guard. He's been very active. Wade Johnson will be the right end. Outside linebacker, Monty Goen. Only 190 pounds. Cornelius Dozier. At the other side, T.D. Briggs and Kit Case inside. And they're going to have to really put some pressure now and realign themselves for this wishbone offense that Oklahoma has had so much success with in the first half. The inside give is Lydell Carr. He'll pick up maybe 2. The secondary, Roderick Jones is out. Andrew Livingston will take his place. He's from Fort Worth. Mark Vincent is in the ball game at the right corner. Keith Brooks is the strong safety. Now, Frankie Thomas, the free safety, was injured. He pulled a hamstring. He went into the locker room. He will not return. It'll be Dick Sherritt, who is playing free safety for SMU. It's 2nd and 6, ball on the 24. Holloway fakes Case. Fine job at linebacker. The offensive talent for Oklahoma, Jamel Holloway. What a job he does running the wishbone. Spencer Tillman, Pat Collins, and Lydell Carr, the running backs. Derek Shepard is out of the ball game. He may return in the second half with a bruised shin. Keith Jackson, the tight end. Eric Pope, Hudson, Yules, Ferrer, and Phillips. Third and 6, 24. Oklahoma with a football. Holloway pitches outside to Tillman. There's not much there, so SMU's defense has readjusted. Did a fine job on that series, and now will have to punt it away.
You know, the halftime stats, Timmy, that you can see Oklahoma just dominated. Just outstanding play. SMU with that first drive, very impressive. Looking for a chance now, that their first possession of this half, to do the same thing and score a touchdown.
4th and 4. This is Mike Winchester. It's a high spiraling punt. Andrew Livingston will fair catch it at the 39. Most of SMU's yardage came on that first drive, as we illustrated, and they had 160 yards, all on first down for Oklahoma. So it's been a first down, first drives ball game here. This is the offensive talent or the defensive talent rather, for Oklahoma. Steve Bryan, of course. Kevin Murphy has been very active in this ball game. He was part of the readjustment after that first drive by SMU. Migliazzo and Brian Bosworth, 2 strong, fine inside folks at linebacker. 1st and 10 at the 39. Fake give, and Don King, the quarterback, keeps it. See that Oklahoma secondary. Derek White, 5'9", 185-pound freshman. Very young secondary. Dale Glenn, he's a junior. Then the 2 safeties are juniors and sophomores. This is David Vickers, a sophomore out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. It'll be 2nd and 5, the ball on the 44. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Now they loaded up with a tight end on that side, and they give inside. This is Dupard. He's met immediately. Tony Casillas, the Lombardi Trophy winner, came through cleanly, made the hit, and it'll be a loss on that play.
Oklahoma coaches told me yesterday that you can't practice against Casillas. He just has an all-out speed, and you try to work the opposing team against him, he just destroys everything. He has only one speed, all out. He weighs 282 pounds and has the quickness and speed of a man about 200 pounds, so that's why he's the Lombardi winner.
King to throw on 3rd and 8, has a man, and it's complete to his tight end, Albert Reese. It'll be well short of a first down. So 2 offensive series, and not much happens. King, Dupard, Ashaway, Morris, and Jacobs will all leave the field now. Reese, Hemington, McKinney, Eidson, Richardson, Dunn. Dodge Carter comes on to punt for SMU. Sonny Brown is the deep back for Oklahoma. Brown lets it hit, and did it go out of bounds?
Yeah, it's a 1-yard line, Timmy. Or 2 or 3, wherever. It's down close.
So now Oklahoma will be backed up on the 1-yard line with 11:31 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Don't settle for second best. Go with #1 at the Chevy year-end sales drive. Chevrolet is the best-selling car and truck in America. And your Chevrolet dealer is out to stay #1 for the 15th year in a row. We're out to sell 220,000 cars and trucks before the end of the year. Don't settle for second best. And here's more good news.
Save up to $740 on specially equipped Super Saver full-size pickups, up to $705 on S10 Blazers. See your Chevy dealer.
You begin with raw steel. shape it with fire, muscle, and sweat. Polish it to razor-sharp perfection. We're looking for a few good men with a medal to be Marines.
Oklahoma 21, SMU 7. A 54-yard punt. They have changed their marking. They marked it first at the 1 and then said it went through for the touchback, Frank. First down on the 20, Oklahoma. Give on a little scissors counter, and there's not much there. Pat Collins was the running back, but Wade Johnson got there awfully quickly.
In the last series, the SMU linebackers were running very quickly with the fullback fake, so Oklahoma decided to come back and run a reverse play. Fake the fullback, go the opposite way, but the SMU defense was not fooled, waited there and made the play.
Derek Shepard was back in the ball game for that play, so he's all right now. Severely bruised shin in the first half. 2nd and 11 from the 19. Holloway knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Gary Ball is the big guy who got his hand on it. He's only 6 foot, weighs 255 pounds, but Holloway's only 5'11".
Misdirection pass where Holloway is going to fake to the tailback coming back, fullback going out and blocking in. Previously, Holloway had gotten outside and ran the ball every time. This time, SMU contained him, forcing the pass deflected by Ball.
Jerry Ball's having a heck of a football game, leading SMU tackler with 7. Holloway, 3rd and 11. Options the end, and he's not going to get the first down. Derek Sherrick is the man who came up and made the tackle from his free safety spot. SMU came out of the blocks quickly. 52 yards Dupart had on that drive, and they scored, made it 7-0, but Oklahoma readjusted. Couple of quick turnovers. Perry, a 17-yard run. Penalties and turnovers, the key in the first half that got Oklahoma not only back in the ball game, but also took that big lead. This is Andrew Livingston. Good coverage by Oklahoma. And so SMU will have good field position after that 41-yard punt.
I thought safety belts were valuable even before General Motors increased their value with $10,000 worth of life insurance. Now, every new GM car or light truck comes with a 1-year life belt certificate from MIC General, the insurance people at GM, at no extra cost, just for buckling up.
I've always buckled up, but then I guess I've always been the cautious type. See your GM dealer for details, then buckle your life belt.
Now, for the power computer user who demands performance, Radio Shack introduces the Tandy 3000, the more powerful and more affordable IBM PC AT compatible. Here's the power to manage your business, utilize computer networking, or create a multi-user system. The Tandy 3000, the power to put you in command. Tandy, clearly superior, in business for business, only at Radio Shack Computer Centers.
Oklahoma, Penn State headed for the Orange Bowl. Should Oklahoma win here, there'll be the national championship at stake. There has been a lot said about Joe Paterno's comments about leaving football to the likes of Barry Switzer.
Joe made a statement several years ago that Joe personally apologized to me for. He was a man enough to pick up the phone, call me, said, here's the situation, this is how it worked. I said, Joe, don't worry about it. Joe didn't know me at that time, and since then, Joe and I have become good friends. He remarked to Chuck Ninus, the CFA, said, Chuck, Barry Switzer's not what I thought he was a few years ago. So, you know, how do you know someone until you get to know someone? So that doesn't bother me.
Keith, Tim, I'm glad that they have straightened that out. Both Switzer and Paterno, two of the best in the country.
Jeff Atkins, the ball carrier, best field position of the ball game for SMU.
Casillas, the all-out football player. Coaches told me, and trying to ask him, what does he do? It makes him so great. Number 92. He just uses his hands. He's strong. He gets off the block and still has the muscle to pull the ball carrier down. Tony Casillas.
Frankie reminds me a lot of one of my former teammates at Maryland, Randy White,
who is now playing for the
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Boy, what a player he is. 2nd and 6. The pitch outside again. It's Atkins. Atkins has the first down, I do believe, depending on the marking. Ricky Dixon, number 29, the tackler.
Barry Switzer was talking about the changes they were going to make, trying to get the halfback up quickly on the support on the option play. This time, Morris, the flanker, made the great block and let him get in the backfield. Here's what DeBard and Atkins have done for 3 years, just under 6,000 yards.
That was SMU's first rushing first down since the opening drive when they scored. DuPont.
In the previous series, Timmy, Oklahoma made the adjustment when SMU would shift their tight end from the left to the right. Oklahoma would shift their defense and line up strong to that side, and they've been very effective with the defense this half.
Bobby Collins would be wise to stay to that short side like he did in that first drive, Frank. You know, this field has being down there in the first half, has the biggest crown I've seen on any field in college football. There's a 30-inch drop. Very conducive for runners like this guy, Dupard. He's out close to another first down. Be about a yard shy. It'll bring up 3rd and about 2.
Remember, this SMU team had good success offensively. They hadn't put the ball in the end zone as much as they would like to, but they have really run it up against a great defensive team. Now, Bosworth, outstanding All-American linebacker, right here, number 44. What does he do? He comes right in and takes on that big tackle, shucks him aside, and goes in and helps on the tackle. That's some play.
3rd and 2. Everybody lines up and loads up for Dupard's attempt at the first down. He's going to be close. I don't know if he got it, Frank.
No, he didn't quite get it, so SMU will have to decide 4th and 1. What do they do right here? There's Bobby Collins going to have to make that decision. He's saying, go for it. I'm behind 2 touchdowns. My defense has not been able to play effectively against the Oklahoma offense, so let's keep the ball. The best defense against Oklahoma is keep the football.
What does he have to lose?
Well, watch right here. Now, many times SMU has thrown the pass on short yardage. They did that against Texas, and most teams, they will gamble many times in this situation and slip the back down the field for the touchdown. Oklahoma should give them the first down rather than gamble.
Atkins, Dupard.
He didn't make it.
Dupard is shut down. Good fill by the linebackers. Tried to go over the top. There was no air.
Oklahoma has get on short yardage. Teams have been successful very few times. Right here. What a play that is. Casillas gets a little penetration right there. Bosworth comes in, but the play is being made from the outside by number 86. That would be Steve Bryan, the younger brother of All-American Rick Bryan. What a defensive stand. Oklahoma has, that's just something we commonly see with this great defensive team.
Great isolation on Bosworth in that last series. Keeps that low center of gravity. Never lets him get into his body. Oklahoma, first down, 41. Now they can just melt the clock. Lydell Carr, we've got 7:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Oklahoma has not had a first down this quarter since the half. SMU's made some sound adjustments. They're doing a good job of stopping the quarterback Holloway from making yards, and they hadn't been able to get the pitch, and it's only the fullback.
2nd down 6.
Lee Morris comes to the bottom of the screen. Wishbone offense. Holloway pitches outside on 2nd and 6. This is Tillman. One out of bounds by Dick Sherrick.
What chance is a defensive back got trying to come up and make the play with Keith Jackson, 245-pound tight end, blocking on him? Keith just rode him, the defensive back, right out the line of scrimmage, and nice gain for Oklahoma.
Talked about that crown and the 30-inch drop from the middle of the field to the sidelines. The running backs are running downhill. And the great ones like O.J. and Herschel used to always cut back against the grain, the pursuit on one of these fields, and then the tackler's coming up, and they're going down. This is 3rd and 1. Pitch outside. Plenty of room. Anthony Stafford to the 25 and knocked out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Anthony Stafford, just a freshman out of St. Louis.
The triple option, Timmy, is 3 plays in 1. If the fullback, to the left of the screen, if the fullback Carr could make a first down, he leaves it. Now Holloway comes out, pitches, the flanker makes a good block. Stafford has no one there. They had gambled to try to stop the gain inside, 32 yards on the play. Now Shepard, number 3, his job is to take the halfback, and we call that block right there, just stay up with him and keep him out of the play, and he does.
Inside of the fullback, Lydell Carr on first down. Boy, it's very loaded with some youngsters. Every time you turn around, Frank, it's a freshman or a sophomore.
Well, Tillman is the only back in the backfield that's playing today that's above the sophomore class. Quarterback Holloway, just a freshman. Stafford, freshman. Perry, a freshman. Here's what we're talking about. You can see that Oklahoma only has 7 seniors, totally 5 of them starting. So this team is certainly one of the future as well as this year.
2nd and 7. Holloway. Nothing. Good pursuit that time by the defense. Kid Case, Wade Johnson, number 8. He came over from the backside and made the hit.
The Oklahoma fans are booing a little bit as Case makes the play, but he gets a little help from somebody else after the play. Now Case, the linebacker, number 44, lets Polk go by him, has the quickness to come back and chase the quarterback on the option play right there. Now the Oklahoma fans are booing a little bit about that play. I think that's just good aggressive football.
Third and 8. Holloway to throw. Has a man wide open. Lee Morris. Touchdown. Oklahoma. Morris took him inside and just left him, Frank.
This is a post corner. You go for the goal post. Turn the halfback inside. Number 6, Livingston gets turned inside, and Morris goes back outside. All Holloway's got to do, put it on the numbers, and he does, and it's a touchdown.
Tim Lasher on for the extra point. And it's 28-7. So the Sooners come back with the wishbone and the pass to Morris. 28-7.
Introducing the amazing Minolta Maxim, the world's easiest SLR, because it alone has built-in automatic focusing. Look, Maxim's autofocus lets you get perfect shots before others can even focus. Change lenses. Maxim again gets the shots that used to get away.
Only the human eye focuses faster.
Minolta Maxim.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
You can take off, you can take it all in. You can be the best. You can see it. Blue skies fading to night. Head for home where love is shining bright.
Cavalier, America's best-selling car line. The #1 choice for people who know where they're going. Drive today's Chevy. Live today's Chevy. Cavalier.
Tomorrow in a Sunday night special, the Pittsburgh Steelers tangle with San Diego. And Monday night, the Rams and 49ers battle for first place. All on EBC Sports.
Oklahoma 28, SMU 7. This game's just about out of reach. We talked about it earlier, Frank. Not a great come-from-behind team, SMU.
They haven't, Timmy, this year, but in the past 4 years, they've been outstanding come-from-behind teams, and they have the same quarterback that they've done it in the past. Don King, he just needs to get a hot hand.
Todd Thompson's kick is high, and it's long. Livingston will not bring it out.
Timmy, let's go back and look at the touchdown from the end zone. The fake of the option play, right here, fake to the fullback. A couple of steps down the line. While this is taking place, the receiver, Morris, is making a fake on the 1-on-1 coverage, and you can see how wide open after he makes the fake inside. Isolate on Morris. Here he is going down the field, going fake inside. Set up the defensive back. The defensive back turns. When he does, he's whipped. Now Morris open for the touchdown. Holloway right on the target.
One of the strengths of the wishbone. Every play starts the exact same way, and the one wideout always has man coverage. First down, this is Reggie Dupar. And they've got to start going to the air, I do believe.
Well, SMU is a team that, as you've already pointed out, Timmy, they have to be close, really, because they are a run and option team and a play action pass. And when you get behind, most teams like that get in trouble. But they can throw and they can run, so I think you're right. They will have to open up more. Oklahoma defense just outstanding. Has been all year, Timmy.
King will have to get a hot hand. He has not thrown well when he has thrown. 2nd and 6. Dupard. Great fill by Kevin Murphy. Right now, let's go downstairs. Here's Jim Lampley.
Tim, the announcement made just moments ago at the Downtown Athletic Club in New York. The winner of this year's Heisman Trophy is Bo Jackson of Auburn. No vote totals are yet available to us, so we do not know exactly how close the balloting was, but in what was obviously a two-man race between Chuck Long and Bo Jackson, I have just been told that Jackson won by 45 points in the balloting all across the country. That becomes the closest margin in the history of the Heisman voting. The previous closest margin was in 1961 when Ernie Davis defeated Bob Ferguson, the Ohio State fullback, by a 53-point total. So by 45 points, Bo Jackson, the winner over Chuck Long in the closest Heisman Trophy balloting of all time. Back to you, Tim.
Great tribute to both athletes, Frank.
Yes, it is. Both quarterback Long and running back Jackson have had outstanding careers. They've led their team to successful seasons. Either one of them would have been a good choice. My congratulations to Bo Jackson.
That King pass to Reese gave SMU a first down. 32. King wants to throw again on first. He does, and he's complete. Ron Morris is the flanker. Here's Lamps again.
All right, Tim, for one more great story. Navy has beaten Army today in Philadelphia 17-7, and the career of one of the greatest Service Academy football players of all time, Napoleon McCallum, ended in a well-deserved victory on what was a great day for him. McCallum carried the ball 41 times, a career high, for 217 yards in carrying the midshipmen to the upset victory over Army, 17-7. Back to you.
Okay, Lamps here. It is 2nd and 7 to 35 for SMU. King has hit 2 straight passes. We'll throw again. Pulls it down, and now we'll run out of bounds. SMU came out this afternoon, took the opening kickoff, went straight down the field. Dupard had 52 yards, and SMU had a 7-0 score. But oh, how things have changed since then. In the second quarter, Tillman scored for Oklahoma, Holloway scored for Oklahoma, and Collins scored for Oklahoma. It was 21-7 at the half. And since then, we just had a touchdown pass to Morris from 16 yards out from Holloway, and it's 28-7 the Sooners, looking strong as they head toward Penn State and the Orange Bowl. This is Reggie Dupard, and what a tough afternoon he's had.
Penetration by the Oklahoma defense on short yardage destroyed the chances of SMU making the first down. Tupper and Casillas were in the backfield and combined to make the play. 92 Casillas. What a player he is. The quickness. He gets in the backfield, runs around the block. He runs around the block of the lineman, gets a hand on the leg, and Tupper combined bring him down.
Sonny Brown takes the fair catch, 40-yard punt. Dupard, 79 yards. He had 52 on the first drive. That's the story.
Hello, I'm Leona, your automatic teller. Can I help you with a student loan?
No, a car loan, Leona. Fast forward.
A home improvement loan.
Aye. It's a General Motors car.
Don't get hassled when you finance a new car or truck. Get GMAC financing only at your GM dealer.
Is there someone live I could talk with around?
Do we have one of our calendars? This is a farm calendar. We also have what they call a print calendar. If I can only find it.
This imported beer is all that you'd expect. It has a rich, full-bodied, imported flavor, as you'd expect. And a deep, golden color to match its quality taste, as you'd expect. But here's one thing you probably won't expect. It's light. Amstel Light Beer.
95 calories, never tasted so imported.
Amstel Light Beer, imported by Van Munching and Company, New York.
2:58 remaining in the third quarter. We're at Norman, Oklahoma, where the Sooners lead SMU 28-7. Tim Brandt and Frank Royals. Keith Jackson left a little bit early today under the weather. Keith had the flu. valiant effort the first half.
He sure did, Keith. I mean, Tim, Keith had high fever when he left here to head back to L.A.
Well,
Oklahoma, Tim, has had good field position. Mistakes by SMU have set up 3 of the touchdowns.
First down at the 20 for Oklahoma. The wishbone attack to give inside is Leon Perry. Boy, he's big and strong. 220-pound bulldozer.
But the block by Hudson, the sophomore offensive guard, freed Perry into the secondary. Number 79 right there, just a sophomore. All Big 8 offensive lineman. Weighs about 290, 295 here.
Shepard goes out. Morris comes back in at wide receiver. 2nd and 4. Reverse pivot. Holloway. Flags fly. Holloway across the grain. He's got some room. To the 40. Midfield. Brought down from behind at the 47, but there are flags.
A little bit of probably holding, illegal use of the hands. On the delayed play of the counter option, it was 27 yards, but the officials will probably bring it back. Here we'll have the definition of the penalty, holding. Right. The tight end, I don't know whether it's the tight end or the back, they both have very delayed blocks to make. Takes a long time for the quarterback to spin out, Timmy, and fake and then come down the line in the opposite direction. Here it is. Right here, fake to the halfback, now delayed, coming out. See if we can tell who's grabbing right there. I guess they called it on whoever's blocking number 99. I couldn't tell. It probably is the left tackle, Pope.
We have holding on the offense. 2nd down.
That is Oklahoma's first penalty in this ball game. Basically mistake-free.
This offense has just been sensational since Holloway has come in as a starting quarterback.
Well, with Aikman in there at the beginning of the year, I think Barry was trying to pass more. 2nd and 14 from the 16. Holloway. One hops at the Shepard, incomplete. ABC's NFL Monday Night Football special Sunday edition. Pittsburgh Steelers and the San Diego Chargers. That game in San Diego. 9 o'clock Eastern time. And then on Monday night, the Rams and the 49ers. That battle out west. Boy, the 49ers, some kind of tap dance on the Redskins last week.
They are coming on strong, as Bill Walsh's teams usually do.
Offense has really found its rhythm. This is Holloway on 3rd and 14. Intended for Lee Morris, rather, who had a step, but it was overthrown.
Good defensive play by SMU safety man, who is playing in place of Frankie, the starter. Sherrick, number 26, stayed back and was at home and defended against the play.
So Mike Winchester comes on for Oklahoma to punt it away. He's had excellent hang time all year. High punt, not this one. Livingston take it on the one hop at the 48-yard line.
I've never seen that, Tim. He signaled for a fair catch. The ball hit the ground and bounced, so he ended up catching it. But since he signaled for a fair catch, even though the ball's hit the ground, he can't run with it.
(28-7). Oklahoma in command here. This is what we have coming up for you next Saturday. Boxing championship, the U.S. Amateurs. We blacked out in the Tulsa area. King drills the ball for an SMU first down. Jeffrey Jacobs was the receiver of the split end.
This is the best field position SMU has had all day long. Getting the ball close to midfield, they can open up their offense. King rolling to the left. Number 14, Jeffrey Jacobs, wide receiver, curling inside. Has a good cushion by the halfback, and he gets time to catch the ball before Dixon, who has missed 4 games, comes and makes the tackle.
King drilled it. Closing rope that time. 1st and 10 here. This is King on the keeper. Picks up 4. Got 1:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Last play was the option play that SMU had so much success with on that first drive. a good defensive team learns to make the adjustments. They're staying at home. King had no chance to pitch and had to turn up and get whatever he could.
And he was tagged by Tony Casillas.
Look at the stat right there. 82 yards on the first possession, 128 on the next 11.
King on 2nd and 7. Complete inside of 30 to Ron Morris. A yard shy of the first down. It is paramount, Frank, that SMU get on the board and do it quickly if they've got any chance in the final quarter.
And SMU will have the wind to their back in the final quarter. Oklahoma's had it this third quarter. Just kept the ball most of the time, even though they've only scored 1 touchdown.
This will be the last play of the third quarter. King now 5 for 5, 35 yards.
Go deep
in this half. Inside give to Jeff Atkins. He has the first down. Did he lose the football? No.
Jimmy, it's going to be close. Going to really be close. Atkins did not twist and fall forward like he normally does. He got knocked back by that Oklahoma defense.
I thought he had it.
Now Oklahoma has stopped SMU on 3rd down and short twice, on 4th and short once, and it has been a key factor in SMU trying to get something started. They couldn't make the short yardage conversion.
That close, didn't get it.
Atkins had a chance. Had he been able to twist and fall forward, he would have made it. But Oklahoma linebackers turned him back, and here comes the Oklahoma goal line defense. I keep saying SMU many times fakes and throws off of this situation to the halfback down the middle. But Oklahoma's covered. They're not spotting it to it.
Second 4th down attempt this quarter. They failed the last time.
They got it, Jimmy. Big.
Gary Hashaway, the fullback, the carrier. So that's the end of the third quarter. SMU at Oklahoma. We'll continue after this message and a word from our local station.
Don't settle for second best. Go with number 1 at the Chevy year-end sales drive. Chevrolet is the best-selling car and truck in America. And your Chevrolet dealer is out to stay number 1 for the 15th year in a row. We're out to sell 220,000 cars and trucks before the end of the year. Don't settle for second best. And here's more good news.
Chevy announces low 8.5% financing on any new Cavalier. Go with number 1. See your Chevy dealer now.
Most people know you can only buy a Curtis Mathis at a Curtis Mathis Home Entertainment Center. They know delivery and installation are included, and there's a 4-year limited warranty on every product. But what people don't know is just how long a Curtis Mathis really lasts.
Oh, well, time to get another Curtis Mathis. Yep.
For products that last year after year after year, this year, make it a Curtis Mathis Christmas.
Seattle's drug traffic could get as hot as Miami. Monday, watch ABC's World News tonight.
Bonjour. I think you know where I am, but I don't think you know my watch. Look at it. It's extraordinary. Thin, accurate, and very beautiful, no? It was made by LaSalle. LaSalle. Someday his name will be as famous as mine, and they won't need me anymore. Au revoir.
LaSalle, for women like Catherine Deneuve and men like you.
3 cheers for the cooks, the place to be is here, so bring on the beer. Bull! Bull! To really celebrate an outing that's so great, you need more taste in beer. The bull is full and odor, let's smoke liquor bull. Now the body's going strong, so don't say beer, say bull. Hey, pass me a bull! No one does it like the bull.
First Lady of Politics, Geraldine Ferraro, Monday at 4.
Simply a magnificent day in the Plains. 60 degrees when we kicked off. Nice breeze blowing. Warm afternoon, perfect for football in Norman, Oklahoma. The Sooners lead at 28-7. SMU, first down. This is Duke Hard, right side with some running room. And he gets about 6.
Outstanding cut by DuPard to make that yard. Here are the stats into the third quarter. SMU has picked up a little bit at the tail end of the third quarter, but Oklahoma dominating on the ground. very little passing in the ball game. Both teams have been favoring the run all season long. Of course, Oklahoma and the Wishbone, mostly the run.
Key stat there is Oklahoma capitalized on the turnovers. SMU did not. 2nd and 3. Pitch outside of Ducard. First down, then some. Knocked out at the 10. And oh my, he was tagged. Ricky Dixon, number 29, is the man who took him down, and rather rudely.
But the execution by King was outstanding. The blitz is on. Going on top of your screen. The fake to the fullback. That holds the linebacker. Then King goes down without even looking, a blind pitch. Lays it back to Depard, and he circles the Oklahoma defense. So, something, Tim, you don't do very often. Here's the block. Number 23. Ron Marshall gets 2 men, allowing Depard outside room.
1st and goal at the 9. Dupard right side to the 3-yard line. And Dupard now is SMU's all-time 2nd leading rusher. He passes Craig James and now trails only Eric Dickerson of the Rams. 3,750 yards.
Reggie Depard earned that yardage, Tim. He ran inside the block. It was a slow developing play. The block of the pulling guard and the leading tackle on the linebacker. Wasn't much room. He made it.
He's impressive. 22 carries, 102 yards this afternoon. It's the nation's best defense. This is Dupard. He's close.
Dupard tried to get the ball across the plane.
Touchdown.
Looked like he did, too. No, they haven't called. 1 arm up, Tim. Oh, there's 2 arms up.
It's touchdown.
Yeah, 2 arms. As Keith said earlier, it's a long way down there. That's 17 forward to the field. That's the 2nd touchdown, Tim, that the Oklahoma defense has had scored on it in a long, long time. Here it is, 2nd effort. Depard has scored a lot of touchdowns right there. Extra effort, and he crosses the goal line, breaking the plane for the touchdown.
Brownlee on for the extra point. Snap, the hold, the kick, and it's blocked. Oh my! It's been that kind of day for SMU. Steve Bryan is the man that got his hands on it.
Steve Bryan is the younger brother of the All-American Rick Bryan in Oklahoma, number 86. See where he right up the middle and gets his hands up right there. And the kick is a little bit low, and Bryan blocks it, and we have the score 28-13.
Well, 13:35 remain in the ball game.
For the average renter, the 5-door Mercury Lynx has plenty of room. And it's only $29.95 a day. At budget. But budget has another car. One that's more my style. The Lincoln Town Car. Look at this headroom. And even us big shots like budget small price. Only $39.95 a day. Get the economy of luxury. Or the luxury of economy. Go to budget and say, the car. Or the car.
Mr. Goodranch knows your car's engine is an inferno of heat and friction. 100, 200 piston strokes of engine wear per second. It needs the life-saving fluid that protects it right. GM Goodranch Motor Oil. Takes the friction, takes the heat. It's everything General Motors asks for in a fine motor oil. Get it from Mr. Goodranch. No one knows your GM car better. No one.
The finest fighting talent in the country slug it out for national titles. The U.S. Amateur Boxing Championships, live on ABC's Wide World of Sports next Saturday.
28-13 is the score here. We've got 13:35 remaining in the ball game from Norman, Oklahoma. Tim Brandt, Frank Broyles along with you. Keith Jackson, I think by now, is on his way home to Los Angeles to get Will.
Oklahoma's expecting an onside kick, Timmy. They've got 9 people right up on the line.
Brownlee drills it deep. This is Pat Collins, 33. Has some room outside, gets a block, and carries it up across the 27. Let's go downstairs. Here's Jim Lampley.
Thanks, Tim. Once again, in case you've just joined us, Bo Jackson defeated Chuck Long in the closest Heisman balloting of all time. Doug Flutie, former winners have a vote. Can I ask you how you voted?
Sure. I voted for Chuck Long, mainly because he came back for that 5th year and did an excellent job all season long. But I'm real happy for Bo Jackson. I know Bo very well. and he's just sensational.
And just to repeat what you said in pregame, you don't believe Bo should have been penalized for taking himself out of the Tennessee and Florida games?
Definitely not, and I'm glad he won it because he won't have that hanging over his head.
All right, back to you, Tim.
Jim, those quarterbacks stick together, don't they? Fumble. Collins picks it up on the hop, but they'll lose a ton.
First time, Tim, that Holloway has really messed up the option play, faked to the fullback. Now he should pitch the ball if he's going to pitch it right now. But he delays so far, doesn't know what to do. Now the pitch relationship with Collins, the halfback, is broken, and the ball, luckily for Oklahoma, bounces right up into Collins' hands, and he steps out of bounds.
He was trying to get that read, and you're right, he was indecisive. And it will be 2nd and 18. Holloway. This time he cuts up and gets up near the 30. So he's back up to the original line of scrimmage, and they'll mark it just about the 29.
You have to give credit to the SMU defense, other than the touchdown in the third quarter after a failure of their offense to make a 4th and 1. SMU defense has adjusted, and they've played outstanding football against the Oklahoma offense this half.
Tell you what they're doing. They're running to the football a lot better. They are
much better. They're not getting cut off.
No, that's right. That's
and
exactly
there's plenty
right.
of time. There's plenty of time. If either team will do something yet in the round.
12:44. This is Jackson on the reverse. And SMU was not fooled. So Oklahoma now will have to punt it away.
Into the
you're
win.
right. There is time.
And into the win again. Ben Humble, the linebacker, number 45, stayed at home on the end of the round and made the tackle for no gain.
Mike Winchester is on to do the punting. There's your time. Andrew Livingston is deep for SMU, and he's standing just about the 39-yard line. So SMU will have excellent field position. Low snap. Boy, did he ever. Livingston back at the 24-yard line. So that 47-yard punt backs SMU up, and they will not have the field position they had planned on.
Betty Dorfman before the Nikon One Touch. Betty after the Nikon One Touch. The Parfit family before the Nikon One Touch. The Parfit family after. Mr. Dennis Pinkstaff before. Mr. Pinkstaff after.
This is great.
The new autofocus auto flash Nikon One Touch. It's so easy to use, it's given thousands of people something they've always wanted.
Oh, the baby's a week old. Got any pictures?
Pictures they can be proud of.
Can any new size van give you the comfort and features you're looking for? Meet Chevy Astro. It's the van that can. Doors open wide. Choice of seating inside. Hidden surprises. For things of all sizes. Technological feats. Visual treats. The only new size van that comforts you with all these features is Chevy Astro. It's the van that can. Drive today Chevy. Live today Chevy. Astro.
I spoke with Bobby Collins yesterday, the head coach at SMU, and asked Bobby if there was any validity to the rumors that he had spoken to or will go to Mississippi State.
There's no validity to them at all. I've not spoken to anyone, and my job is at Southern Methodist University.
And what a job he has done. Timmy, his winning record at SMU is over 80%.
He was very direct and succinct. 12 minutes remain. SMU with the football, trailing 28-13. And they've got to come in a hurry and get some points on the board.
Nobody can tackle like that but Kevin Murphy, number 39. He came from the middle linebacker position and made that hit. What a play. Number 39, All-American, All-Conference, 5th year senior, having been injured last year, and he's come back for his last season of play.
You talk about tough corners. Kevin Murphy, Reed, and then you go inside with Bosworth and Migliazzo. King runs about 45 yards to get a couple. And he's knocked out of bounds. Let's go back down to Jim Lampley.
And a chance to ask one quarterback, looking at another one. What do you think of freshman Jamel Holloway?
He's outstanding. He does an excellent job of running the option, but the thing that makes him so amazing is that when he does make mistakes, he is a freshman, when he does make mistakes, he has the athletic ability to really cover him up.
Is there a chance that Penn State will confuse him defensively?
Penn State's going to have their work cut out for him stopping this kid because they haven't seen the option a lot.
Very little this year. That's right. Back to you, Tim.
Key play, Jim. 3rd and 4 for King. 3-step drop after the fake, and he's not going to get it. So now what do you do, Frank? Now you have to punt it away.
Yeah, they're still in the ball game, 11-something to play. They've got to punt it. That was a fool-em play. Fake to the fullback, hold the quarterback right over the line of scrimmage, but it didn't fool Oklahoma. Their backs were back there covering the receivers. King had nowhere to go with it.
That play's supposed to happen quickly, though. Quick fake and then pop that pass in a hurry, and it wasn't there. Dodge Carter, excellent punter. And he drives this one back where Sonny Brown will fair catch it at the 26. A little extracurricular, but no flag. Well, what they've got to do now is force some turnovers if they hope to get back in the ball game, because time is melting from the clock. There's only 10:50. This is the 3rd round results from the mixed team golf championships you may have watched earlier here on ABC. Brother-sister combination, Rinker and Rinker lead, 15 under. They're tearing it up, Frank. Look at those scores. And then, of course, tomorrow the mixed team golf championships continue on the Bardmore Country Club in Florida. Wishbone attack, big hole, Anthony Stafford, and he blasts out. Pickup of 9. He'll be just a yard shy, maybe, of that first down.
Oklahoma decided to go away from the wishbone and run the power play. Turn, hand the ball off, let your blockers open up that hole right there. You can see the blocking of the line, the backs, and finally, I think Case made the tackle along with some others.
Case in point. The first half, Oklahoma 148 yards on first downs.
Wishbone is a first down team offense, Tim. They have to do well on first down or it throws them into passing situations. But the triple option is 3 plays in 1. And they can run the fullback, the quarterback, or the pitch, left or right. That's 6 plays the defense has to defend immediately, and it puts them thin at the line of scrimmage.
You know, some quarterbacks have their, or the coaches have their quarterbacks with that predetermined read. They're going to go with that thing, and it takes away the threat. But here, Holloway reads so well, like in this one, he gives inside to Tillman. And he reads the defender so well that it makes this thing go.
You have to read it if you're going to have success with the triple option. Otherwise, it's not the triple option. But watch the block here on the great player ball, number 34. Let's see how they do it. Number 68, Phillips. No, it's number 55, Farrah. Right there. Now Phillips comes in, helps out just enough. Ball's got to come off the block, dive, but he can't get it. Nice game.
9:45 remain. First down again. It's Stafford.
When you got a good thing going for you, Tim, you repeat the play. Left, right, left, and they've averaged about 9 yards a try on the isolation play. Just a handoff, power, all the muscle that you've got going right at the heart of the defense.
But the thing is, when you have such success on first down and just second down's a waste down, you can do anything.
Case, the leading tackler, number 44, 2-year starter, right there. Wasn't fooled on the play. Comes in, helps on the tackle. Not before a big game.
Holloway, first down, and then some, down to the 26-yard line. Jamel Holloway.
You stop the fullback, you stop the pitch, but then they have a quarterback that may be the best run on the entire team. Jamel Holloway, just a freshman, been sensational since he started after the Miami game when the starting quarterback, Aikman, was injured.
First quarterback to lead OU since Lott.
Case,
rushing.
Number 44. You can see what chasing the football means. For you young players that like to play defense, you can't give up. Stay after it. Case finally makes the tackle.
This is Tillman. Holloway took himself out of practice Wednesday, checked into the school infirmary, missed practice Thursday, got out of the infirmary yesterday, and comes in and has a marvelous performance here this afternoon.
He rested his legs.
That's exactly right.
He's fresh today. He missed those 2 practices and gets that strength back in his legs. 129 yards and 40 passing for this young freshman who's going to be playing against Penn State.
I asked Barry if he was concerned about his stamina after recovering from the flu. He says, no, we gave him a couple of shots of B12 vitamins. He's ready.
Well, Barry, we talked about that. Barry said that's what he liked when he was a player. We did that at Arkansas when Barry was our captain. There's some of the offensive linemen that aren't out there. Number 78, starting left tackle. Barry, the right tackle and right guard. Oklahoma's got their second offensive line out there.
Oklahoma looks strong. What an Orange Bowl that will be. But you know, Miami, and I still feel this, I think Miami has the best football team in the country right now.
Well, we have some great football teams in the country. We have Iowa, who has a chance at the national championship. Miami has a chance. Oklahoma has a chance. But Penn State, if they should win, nobody has a chance but them. But it's going to be a great ball game in the Orange Bowl, and we've got one in the Sugar Bowl, and the Rose Bowl's got one also.
Perry gets the first down inside the 15 to the 11.
And here's Tennessee, who has come on strong at the end of the season, Timmy. Their defense has been outstanding. They're going to really be tested by Testaverde, the quarterback from Miami, who came in for Kozar after Kozar turned pro. Testaverde's had a great season.
Great job by Darrell Dickey at quarterback, replacing the injured Robinson for Tennessee. This is Patrick Collins on the outside, inside 5 to the 4, knocked out of bounds. They'll mark it at about the 3.5.
That's where speed makes all the difference. The right of your screen, if you want to see a defensive back, Vincent, number 15, is going to come up and nearly make the play. Watch Vincent right here. He's not blocked. No one's on him. All he's got to do is make the tackle, but he doesn't have the speed to make the tackle. Collins has so much speed, he just outruns him to the corner for the big game.
It is critical against this type of offense to have some sort of containment.
Quick support by the defensive back.
And get in the face of the quarterback quickly.
Then you're vulnerable to the pass.
Holloway. 5-3, touchdown, Oklahoma. They love them here in Norman.
Why shouldn't they? What an offense. Beautiful execution. The thing about the wishbone, number 26-3-4 is going to be chasing the halfback and keeping the Holloway from pitching, but there's no one to tackle Holloway. Number 4 goes in for the touchdown.
This is Tim Lasher on to attempt the extra point. Perfect. 35-13, Holloway, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day, and the Sooners are rolling.
Hi, Tom. Good night, sir.
Holiday greetings from Michelob.
Where you going? It's Michelob.
Golfing's top men and women money winners compete together in a unique event. Live coverage of the Mixed Team Golf Championship continues tomorrow on ABC Sports.
Well, it's a good old-fashioned whooping. I don't think there's any question, but the fact Oklahoma certainly deserves its ranking, 35-13. Some thought that this game was one of those that SMU could jump up and bite you, but it hasn't happened.
Because of this young man right here, Oklahoma may be the most explosive offensive team in America in this style of play, only matched by Miami with their passing attack. The two of them have probably the most explosive passing offenses in America. Right there on the option play, Holloway takes it in.
SMU has only been blown out once this year. That was by Arizona, and they were in every other ball game until today. This is Livingston, and he is nailed. Let's go back downstairs. Here's Jim Lampley.
All right, Tim Brand, a pertinent question for Beano Cook. Surely the Orange Bowl will bill itself as the game for the national championship. What must happen for Miami to wind up on top?
Well, remember, in 1978, the year Alabama beat Penn State, Alabama got #1 in one poll and USC in the other. It could happen again. Miami could win one poll if it beats Tennessee, and if Oklahoma beats Penn State, they would get the other.
All right, back to you, Tim.
All right, Jim, 7 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the ball game. SMU struggling. This is King. Gone deep, and it's almost intercepted. No flags. There was contact. It was intended for Pleasant, and Derek Crudup was there, and there was contact, Frank.
Well, the contact was incidental. It appeared to be both the offensive receiver, Pleasant, who has outstanding speed, maybe one of the fastest receivers in America, and, of course, number 15 of Oklahoma, Crudup, do kind of run into each other, and could have been interference, but it'd been a tough call.
No question about it in my mind. He jumped in front of him and was using his left arm to fend him off. Nonetheless, it's 2nd and 10. King, play action. Has the middle instead, throws, and it's complete. Ron Morris made the catch and runs out of bounds on the 35.
This is the kind of offense that SMU has used for the last 3 or 4 years. In the fourth quarter, when they're behind, they've been able to use King, scrambling ability, throwing ability, find the outstanding receivers. Morris has been one of the best in the Southwest Conference history right there. Ron Morris, number 23, good speed, came into this ball game with 28 receptions, caught 41 2 years ago.
Almost picked off by Derek White. Took the chance, made the gamble, and just missed the ball. King again. With room, looks for a block, and can't find it. Here's Jim Lampley again.
All right, Tim, earlier, Doug, you told us that you thought Penn State could have some difficulty against an option team. How will Penn State play defense against Oklahoma?
Well, in order to stop Oklahoma, they're going to have to change up their defenses a lot, try to confuse Jamal on his reads, who's got pitch, who's got dive, who has quarterback. And that's unlike Penn State. Penn State is used to playing basic defenses, basic coverages, and using their talent.
That from a man who often had trouble against those basic defenses. Yours, Tim.
This is King. And inside it goes to Reggie Dupard, and Dupard has another first down. The fact we haven't mentioned, Frank, when we talk about these teams and the bowls and the national title is the fact that Miami beat Oklahoma here in Norman. You and Keith and I were here, and they beat them rather soundly, 27-14.
Miami had a great ball game against Oklahoma. They were able to protect the passer and give Testaverde plenty of time. It was a one-sided contest. The score showed 28-14. Miami had a lot of yardage throwing the football and just neutralized the ability of the Oklahoma linebacker. And that's why Jimmy Johnson says they should be #1 should Oklahoma beat Penn State.
King going for it all on first down, and Ron Morris, or Derek Crudup rather, was the defender there and knocked Ron Morris out of bounds. But Morris had a step on him, and the ball was just thrown out that way.
Jimmy Johnson has gained a lot of support from people around the country for his Miami cause, saying that we went into Norman, Oklahoma. We played them in their own backyard, as we've already said, and beat them handily, 28-14.
There's Dupart, as we mentioned, has moved up to the #2 spot as SMU's all-time leading rusher behind only Eric Dickerson. It'll be 2nd and 10. The ball on the 45 with 5:57 remaining in the ball game. This is King. Incomplete, intended for his tight end, Albert Reese. And where's Reese been?
Reese has caught a couple of passes, and that's about all. He's an outstanding talent, big, 6'4", good receiver. But remember, the Oklahoma linebackers, Jones and Bosworth, are so talented that their coaches tell me they could play in the secondary. And yet they are big and strong, as we already know. So that's why Oklahoma pass defense has improved.
Reese has made only 3 catches today for 34 yards, and I would think dragging him across the middle by those linebackers would be rather successful. This is King on 3rd and 10, and he's not going anywhere. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and Dante Jones, the weak side linebacker, tracks him down and makes the tackle.
He's one of the people we were just talking about, Dante Jones, number 50, just went across, all the way across, and made the tackle.
You mentioned Testaverde for Miami. I worked that Miami-Florida State game when I left you and Keith. and trailing by 2 touchdowns. He throws 2 in the fourth quarter and comes back and wins a very fine Florida State team.
To the Miami with Testaverde throwing in Highsmith and Mitchell running the football. It's a tough combination.
SMU on 4th and 10 has to go for it. King's in trouble, puts the ball on the ground. They'll say he was down, but that should do it. Oklahoma football at the 45. Troy Johnson, the right defensive end, is the man for Oklahoma who made that one work. We've got 5 minutes and 7 seconds left.
Don't settle for second best. Go with number 1 at the Chevy year-end sales drive. Chevrolet is the best-selling car and truck in America. And your Chevrolet dealer is out to stay number 1 for the 15th year in a row. We're out to sell 220,000 cars and trucks before the end of the year. Don't settle for second best. And here's more good news.
Chevy announces low 8.5% financing on any new Cavalier. Go with number 1. See your Chevy dealer now.
Tell Mommy I'm on my way.
General Motors is embarking on an odyssey down roads paved with technological wonders that might seem like science fiction. But at GM, they're becoming reality now. Laser body testing, sophisticated instrument displays, electronic navigation systems. The 21st century lies dead ahead, and today's GM is leading the way there. The GM Odyssey. Science, not fiction.
The Gator Bowl, December 30th. Florida State tangles with Thurman Thomas and Oklahoma State. The Sugar Bowl, January 1st. Miami with hopes of a national championship meets Tennessee, all on ABC Sports.
Darkness has descended upon the plains in Norman, Oklahoma. The lights are on, and I'm telling you, Oklahoma is riding high in the saddle, leading 35-13 with 5 minutes left. Eric Mitchell is the new quarterback for Oklahoma. Here's Jim Lampley again.
Tim, with one final note on the Heisman balloting. You know, of course, already that Jackson defeated Long in the closest balloting ever. Third place in the voting was Robbie Bosco, and I think of that as a bit of a surprise. He was ahead of fourth place Lorenzo White and fifth place Vinny Testaverde. Perhaps a mark of the degree to which the balloting favors seniors. Bosco, of course, a senior. Lorenzo White is a sophomore, and Vinny Testaverde a junior, coming back next year. Here's Tim.
So, Jim, it sets up an interesting race for the Heisman next year. Testaverde, of course, has to be one of the favorites along with White. 2nd and 8, and the ball's loose. SMU, they get it? No. Oklahoma gets it back. Anthony Stafford, I believe. 25 is the man that got the ball back.
Mitchell, the quarterback, was stripped of the ball as he's going down the line on option play. First leg, fake to the fullback. Now Mitchell goes down, he takes his hand off the ball and holds it with just his right hand, and then while he's trying to dodge the defender, the ball slips out, and they're very fortunate to get it back.
Terrence Mann, 92, had a shot at it for SMU and just couldn't hold on to it. It'll bring up 3rd and 14 with the ball on the 50. This is Mitchell. Tracked down nicely by Jerry Ball and Cornelius Dozier. Number 99, the outside linebacker.
Ball, number 34, is just a junior. Let's see how he gets involved in this particular play. Number 74, Bennett, offensive guard, dives out to make the block. The ball runs around and chases the quarterback and helps on the tackle. Dozier, number 9, combining with him.
255 pounds, and Ball can scoot, can he?
And he's gained weight. Now his coaches tell me he weighs 272 at 6 foot tall.
This is Winchester on to do the punting. Again, it's a low snap, and it's almost blocked. Fair catch, and they'll put it on the 22. That is exactly where SMU will have the football with 2:52 remaining. We've got a doubleheader for you coming up this weekend on the NFL. Special Sunday edition. Pittsburgh still very much in the hunt. San Diego Chargers trying to knock the Steelers back a notch. That should be a pretty good ball game. And then, of course, the Rams 49ers. Everybody out west is talking about it. The 49ers with the destiny in their own hands. Rams with a game lead. That should be a fine football game as well. I went down and watched the 49ers, Frank, last week in Washington, and they really have the offense running now.
When Joe Montana gets going, I don't know if anybody I'd rather watch play.
This is King on 1st down. Overthrows his man, and Ronnie Morris was wide open on the sideline.
Oklahoma, with less than 3 minutes to play, very wisely backing up and letting the The defense keep everything in front and most of the receivers inside. That's the ideal way to play in this part of the game, leading as they are 35-13.
That score may be a little bit misleading when you think about, when you look especially at the rushing. SMU, 205 yards today rushing. But they turned the ball over. You cannot put the ball on the ground and win against Oklahoma.
Roughing the kicker, running on 4th down and not making it, fumbling on their own 35-yard line, set up 3 touchdowns.
This is Atkins.
You take away those 3 touchdowns, Tim, and you got your ball game. But mistakes make the difference in any ball game. They are facets of football that coaches have never been able to eliminate. We preach against mistakes. We coach against mistakes. We do everything we can, but they still happen at every level, junior high, high school, college, and professional.
Roughing the kicker. We used to have to yell out the 4 don'ts of the kicking game. Down on the field, the punting team thought we were nuts.
Oh, we've done that all our life,
King throws the pass in. It is complete, but it's not enough for the first down. Here's Jim again.
And there's a flag there.
That's complete to Tony Shellman.
Bino Cook, an interesting note on Oklahoma's travel plans for the Orange Bowl.
Yeah, I learned in the press box that they planned to go December 20th. If they would have lost it, we're going down December 26th. But they're going down December 20th because Coach Barry Switzer wants to spend as much time on the offense as he can. They haven't performed well in the Orange Bowl. Some of the old-timers are saying when Bud Wilkinson went to the Orange Bowl, he practiced twice a day. Switzer's only going to do it once a day. But he's going down the 20th, and they're going to lose money going to the bowl.
And in an interesting oddity, they're going to be staying in the same hotel with Penn State.
Yes, Oklahoma had to okay that. And I think it's great. The kids would get to know each other and only be enemies for 60 minutes and friends for life.
Now that we've been here to see them, which is a rarity for us, how good do you think Oklahoma is?
I think they're going to play for the national championship, but I think Miami has every right to say, hey, we came down here and won. They have a right, but that's why they're going to play. Going to find out who's better.
How good do you think Oklahoma is? Do you think they're the best team in the country?
Going to find out.
Okay, so we'll find out on New Year's night. Hedging his bets all the way.
He is, Jim. He's evasive. Intercepted. Oklahoma. Scott Garrell has the interception. He's bringing it back to the 30. Has a convoy in front of him. Cuts back to the 20. And here comes Oklahoma again. They get better looking every time I see them. 42-yard return by Garrell. Scott Garrell, another freshman.
Here King's just throwing the ball as far downfield as he possibly can. Garrell, number 49, comes down with a football right there. He was a walk-on. Earned a scholarship. Now he makes the nice run. But Tim, I'd like to say about the best team in America, I think Oklahoma has more speed than any team in America, and I think Penn State has more closeness and great coaching to go with them, although Oklahoma has the great coaching too. It's going to be a heck of a ball game, as is the game in the Sugar Bowl. Miami is just as good as Oklahoma, who's just as good as Penn State. And I haven't seen Iowa. I don't know about them.
Well, I'm going to tell you something the way I feel, and it's just my personal opinion, having watched both ball clubs. I think Miami right now is the best ball club in the country.
Well, they certainly proved it today. We saw them here when they beat Oklahoma 28-14. The one thing that remember about bowl teams, running teams do not fare as well in bowl games as passing teams. And I think that's the reason Barry Switzer is going to Miami on the 20th of December to give him plenty of time.
Dead ball foul, personal foul, clipping on the offense. It'll be second down.
To give his team plenty of time to hone up their running game, which is the most difficult part to prepare after the season is over and getting ready for the bowl game.
Miami doesn't have a bad running game with Bratton and Highsmith. Second and 26. We've got 1:33 remaining in the ball game. This is Leon Perry, and Perry puts the ball on the ground. And I think they got it back.
Safety man for SMU really puts a lick on Perry. 220. Trap play right up the middle. Number 26 comes right after him. Sherrick, who is substituting for Frankie, the starter, makes the play, fumble, but Oklahoma recovers.
Al Larita is the guy who recovered the football for Oklahoma. It'll bring up 3rd and 13. The ball on the 23. And we're inside a minute, Frank. Perry rambles down to the 10.
Tim, the key in the Orange Bowl game is, can the Penn State offense make enough yardage to keep this Oklahoma offense on the sideline? The starting point for Penn State has got to be keep the ball, move the ball against the #1 defense in the country so that they don't have to play defense against this explosive offense of Oklahoma.
4th and 1, 20 seconds left. The fans want them to go in a hurry and want another score, but I don't think Barry will do it. Well, they got the first down with 12 seconds left, but the clock continues to roll. And that should just about do it. The fans want more. We just went through this last week down in Miami against Notre Dame. So that's the end of the ball game, and our final score, Oklahoma 35, SMU 13.
You begin.
Snickers satisfies you.
Packed with peanuts, Snickers really satisfies.
Snickers is like a part of my business. When I'm hungry, it really does the job for me.
All the excitement of college basketball is here when the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame battles Duke. College basketball, it's the stuff Sundays are made of on NBC.
A look at the halftime stats. One significant one, Georgetown has attempted 34 field goals as against 19 for Villanova.
Well, the key there is the rebounding edge. 7 for the Hoyas, and of course the turnover ratio. Villanova did not take care of the ball very well with the 9-to-5 differential.
The field goal stat is wrong here at the top. Georgetown is 14 of 34, which is roughly 41%, rather than 10 of 34.
And of course the Hoyas, who've had difficulty with their free throw shooting, a very impressive 9 for 10.
Reggie Williams, who caught fire toward the end of the first half, is the game's high scorer with 14. Nobody in double figures for Villanova. Harold Presley hit 3 early field goals and wasn't able to get any shots off, maybe 1 or 2 after the first 3-4 minutes of the game.
After those 2 turnovers on the perimeter, Rolly Massimino sat him down, and despite the fact he only had 2 fouls, he did not come back in the first half, and I thought that was a very young, inexperienced club on the floor for Villanova when the Hoyas got away from him at the end. A big half from Presley is mandated if they're going to come back in this game, and I think they will.
In fact, checking the stats, I was right. Presley did not attempt a single field goal after about 15 minutes remained in the first half. He was 3 of 3 and 2 for 2 from the line.
Well, I'm sure Massimino wants him in there with 3 fouls to give. That can be the only explanation for his not getting back in the first half.
Hoyas by 8, and they start with the ball in the second half. Wilbur is on Jackson. Here's Wingate. Broadnack's open. Can't build the lead to 10, and Plansky, who saw only limited playing time, although he started in the first half, comes away with the ball.
Michael Jackson with 3 personal fouls has to be cautious on his penetrations.
Presley trying to become a factor in the second half, and opens with the basket that brings the Wildcats to within 6.
Villanova had not lost when they were ahead at half. Obviously, their stats trailing are not impressive. They are not a great come-from-behind team.
Wingate has 9. He scored 7 of their first 11 points and was quieted after that in the first half. Lansky into Maker. And Maker was hit by Broadnax for a Georgetown foul.
Don't be surprised if Wilbur tries to take Michael Jackson to the basket, trying very hard to get that quick 4th foul on him. Jackson does so many things for the Hoyas that don't reflect in the scoring column.
For Broadnax, his 3rd, and the first on the Hoyas, obviously, in the second half. Jensen into Presley. Now Wilbur. Here's Jensen open.
The same 2 guys that started well at the beginning of the game for the Villanova Wildcats, starting the second half. They're the guys that are supposed to do it.
Jackson walks it up, met by Wilbur at the midcourt line.
Wingate with a touch pass into Dalton, swatted away by Presley, and Maker has it. Jensen to Presley, and the reverse slam brings them to their feet at the Spectrum.
That's the kind of a start that Villanova needed. They were very down at the end of the half. They needed a lift, no question. The Hoyas are taking control of the game with 5 to go.
Just a 4-point difference now. Wingate. Dalton to follow. And a foul on Maker.
Watch this block now. From the back, Presley gets a piece. Maker with the kick-out pass, and it's Jensen and Presley on the break. The Globetrotters played in here earlier. Just a little bit of showtime there for Presley. And that brought the crowd to its feet.
The foul on Maker is his 4th. He remains in the lineup. Dalton, a 62% free throw shooter. You mentioned that the Trotters played here. Did you realize that Red Klotz, longtime player, their perennial opponents, the Washington Generals, now their coach, perhaps the most put-upon man in sports history, Red Klotz played at Villanova in 1941, one season.
I didn't know that. What I did know is that that first game between the Generals and the Globetrotters would not go overtime. They have a way of understanding the clock.
Georgetown by half a dozen as Wilbur brings it across. 2 years ago, Wilbur beat Georgetown with a baseline jumper in double overtime at Landover. Lansky from Presley. Lansky from Wakefield, Massachusetts, idolizes the Boston Celtics. Posters of Larry Bird all over his dorm room. I'm sure he was heartened by Bird's performance last night at Portland. All Larry did was score 47.
Triple doubles.
Here's the steal. Wilbur has it. Jensen wasn't looking. Jensen had his back turned to the pass. And Jackson picks it off.
Well, it's just one of those errors. He should not have taken his eye off the ball, but he did. He was trying to find the lane.
Presley with another block. Here's Wilbur racing with Jackson.
Michael Jackson with 3 fouls had to let him go.
It's Wilbur's first basket. Georgetown wants a timeout. Their lead sliced to 2.
That's a big step, Tom.
I'm still gonna go to college, Dad, but after the Army.
I thought you wanted to be an electrical engineer.
I'll be learning about electronics, and I can qualify for the new GI Bill and new Army College Fund.
If you qualify, the new GI Bill and new Army College Fund can help you save over $25,000 for tuition.
So you're going to be a soldier?
Be all that you can be. And an engineer. Find your future.
Be a good one.
In the Army.
Mount Hood, Oregon and Old Milwaukee both mean something great to these guys. Mount Hood means the best summer skiing in America. And Old Milwaukee means a great beer. Cold, crisp Old Milwaukee beer and smooth, golden Old Milwaukee Light.
There's nothing like the flavor of a special place at Old Milwaukee beer.
Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light.
Man, it doesn't get any better than this.
Wash and go with Perks. Got too much you're busy doing to fuss around with your shampooing. Keep your hair on the go with you. Wash and go with Perks. You want a shampoo works as hard as you. Wash and go with Perks.
Perks shampoo has a drop of conditioner, so you just wash and go with great hair and no fuss.
Wash and go with Perks.
On NBC Sports, excitement is the tradition when Tom Watson and Buzzy Zeller tee off at the Hawaiian Open on NBC Sports.
Villanova's 5 for 5 in the second half, but they've been getting very good shots off their defense. Presley again with the reject from the weak side, and the Hoyas were out and running. Dwight Wilbur finished that one for a layup. And again, there they are. Perfect 5 for 5. Georgetown only 1 for 5.
In the championship game last spring,
9 of 10 in the second half for Villanova. Nearly 79% for the game, an NCAA record. They've hit all 5 they've taken since intermission today. They're at 63% for the game.
Well, mathematically, it's still possible, but that was a miracle.
Jackson. Georgetown by 4, 43-39, 16-15 to play in the game.
Wilbur really hasn't pressured Michael Jackson yet. Look at him with 3 fouls out there, still putting the pressure on. The Hoyas are man, so the isolations and drive potential are there.
Presley up in the air, and his pass intended for West is intercepted by Williams.
John Thompson with a good timeout. Got the good shot for the basket, and the defensive turnover in the immediate play is coming in.
Williams. And a foul on West, although the crowd thought Williams walked as he started his move.
John Thompson, I'm sure, called for more pressure with a double team. Presley throws an ill-advised pass diagonally across, and you can't do that against the swift pursuit of the Hoyas.
That was the second foul on West, the Villanova freshman, and the second Wildcat team foul in the half. Wingate. Presley bothered him on the shot. Dalton recovers and puts it back in, plus a foul.
Boy, this game ebbs and flows. Villanova came out smoking at the half. Since that timeout, everything has been Georgetown. Good block that time. Again, Presley with the reject, tries to recover down underneath. Villanova caught looking. Dalton opportunistically puts it up and in. Has a chance to go for 3.
West again on the foul. His third. Three-point play for Dalton. And just like that, the lead is back to 7. Villanova had closed it to 2.
Half-court defense by Georgetown, just superb.
Jensen driving on Broadnax, cut off by Dalton. Here's Presley. His first miss of the day. Massey tried to follow and had it rejected.
No calls are ubiquitous.
But a travel as Jackson released the pass to Broadnax.
This is where Presley got into trouble, handling the ball on the perimeter in the first half. They need him down inside.
Presley up top again. Jensen pops out to take the baseline pass. Now Plansky rejected by Dalton.
Oh, they're going to get some industrial strength dental floss to get the leather out from between their teeth. Dalton will have none of the short game. And in those high top shoes, watch Dalton, 52. There's one. Nuh-uh. Skyjack.